Or do you think that is just a bunch of fake lives being propagated? That's the problem.
Yeah, you people won't show most of their raw life. They're not going to show you struggling with money and budgeting your meals because you can't afford to go buy groceries. They're not going to show you the raw and vulnerable parts of life. You're only going to see what somebody wants you to see, and it's most of the time the good in life. They're not going to show you all the bad and all the normal parts of life.
All right. Uh, I'm not sure who was first, CC or Jennifer.
I'll go then. I'll let you. And mostly is because men don't want to approach women because of these modern feminists being saying that I'm strong and independent, I don't need a man. Or sometimes is because when men approach women as these modern feminists expect men to pay for women expect men to pay for their hair or the bills or etc.
No, for sure. Anybody want to comment on that? I'm gonna mute you, mom. Uh, all right. If no one wants to comment, Eddie, you got something to say, or are you laughing about that?
I was laughing at that crazy ringtone, man. But no, I agree with you saying to an extent, man. That firstly, that says something about the social media. I told you before it's even kicked off, my brother. Everybody love to run to that social media ruin their life, but accountability will hold you more than anything else. If you're accountable for who you are as a man or a woman, you wouldn't be on social media doing certain type of things. You wouldn't envy somebody else's lifestyle because they live in the glitz and the glamour, and that's not a thing. But I understand what Jennifer was saying as far as the modern feminist kind of yeah, the society with that feminist kind of movement thing and just put us into a position where just women have the independent mindset. So it just, they don't really seem too appealing as a man to kind of go for something like that for most men. I wouldn't even say most men, for some men. Me personally, I like a strong-minded, independent woman too, as well, to a certain extent. I wouldn't even say most men, for some men. Me personally, I like a strong-minded, independent woman too, as well, to a certain extent. I don't want her to be independent, but I want her to be a go-getter and a grinder, just like I am. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm always money-driven, business-driven. I'm trying to grow as much as I can every single day. So I like that strong mindset, but independence, that's a cancerous mindset to go into when you're talking about a relationship, man. It's a lifelong partnership. We're looking to build together. We growing as one. You know what I'm saying? So being an independent person is it's not really appealing as far as a relationship, though. I get what you're saying.
No, for sure. With that, CC, want to go ahead and answer the prompt?
Yes, I think that it's a mix of a lot of different things. I think peer pressure is one. I think a lot of times we brought up modern. I think a lot of times when we think of back in the day, a lot of women and men of different, they look different, different sizes, different, face features or whatever. They were able to be married. They were dating because I feel like they didn't really was able to be pressured upon thousands of people. They maybe impression upon their community or their neighborhood or something like that. But I think we have more access to see, kind of like what the young lady said before me. We're kind of getting too much access to seeing what other people are doing, and sometimes that's a good thing to be motivated and inspired by other people. But at the same time, I think that's also hurting those that you maybe will be attracted to um, through emotional or conversation may not necessarily be more over than looks, but now everybody's comparing. I got to have the looks, I got to have the emotions, I got to have the conversation. Everything's got to be wound up. So I think it's knocking a lot of people out of the game because they're so pressed upon appeasing other people based off how your partner looks.
No, for sure. If anybody wants to piggyback off of that, feel free. And then Lala, you're next to answer the prompt.
I would actually, can I say something about that? I mean, not a piggyback off of it, but a critique, or does that happen later?
No, response. When I said piggyback, I just mean respond.
Okay, so what I would give a critique about that. I would say what the problem is the lack of duty. I think within society, it has been clearly stated and clearly known that therefore rights we all just accept our rights and we believe in our own rights and we lost a sense of duty. And a right is nothing but just a dutyless privilege that you have. They don't exist. And that's why I believe in duty-based system where we actually have the duty to be responsible for our partner and to actually make something grow, not just go off of, I feel this way right now. And that's just a stupid argument
When you say responsible for your partner, what do you mean by that?
in all ways.
Always?
Always, yes.
You had me for a second. I disagree.
Why would you disagree with that then?
You can't be responsible for another adult in all ways. It's impossible.
As a partner,
Ever.
you can. As a
Never.
partner, you can.
No. No, you can't.
Yeah.
Not in all ways. I can
No.
be there to be supportive in all ways, but I'm not responsible. At the end of the day, you have complete autonomy and can make whatever life decision you want to. So if you decide to go against all of the planning, the prep, the training, the conversations that we already had, I do
Yes.
myself a disservice by trying to make you still enact what we agreed.
Isn't that's like pressure? Like,
Yeah, yeah. You gotta give them
God,
space to be who they're
Yeah.
going to be.
it's so much pressure. Like, God.
Yeah, but what's wrong?
all
What's wrong?
adults. We
Yeah,
all
but
adults. You guys are
all right,
young, so check
okay.
this out.
Let me
The
ask
host
you.
is younger
Let
too.
me ask you. Wait. Let me ask you
No,
this one
he
question.
invited me up. Let me share with you from an older person, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
but
help you.
But hold your question.
no,
You
no,
spoke for a very
no.
long time and you were responding to somebody else. So now let someone respond to you.
I wouldn't mind
Okay.
responding, not in a negative way. Like,
Go
I'm
ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of an OG. I could probably be some of your moms. I'm telling you, the pressure of a relationship is so much. Like, here's what happens. And trust me, it's not that I haven't been there. I was married, young, had 3 daughters. So I'm not coming. He invited me, so don't think that I'm like inviting myself in. I'm letting you know, as young people, the pressure of all the, like, the checklist and the, God, it's so much. I don't know how y'all do it. It's like way more than we ever dealt with at your age. I don't know how to
Okay.
do it.
What was the
Okay. All right. All
question,
right.
John? And then we're gonna let Lala answer.
Okay. And this is the last thing I'll say, and then Lala. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but go ahead. But my thing is like, can you tell me where me and my girl? I mean, and you can go ahead. I will grant you the fallacy. I'm making an anecdotal fallacy right now, so I will grant the criticism, and I will grant the unvalidity of this argument. Okay.
Oh, God, the
Dog, I'm
But
gonna say something real quick because if you're going to ask me a question and tell me what I'm going to say is already invalid,
Yeah, the
I'm not
rhetoric
trying
is
to
so
answer
much,
anything
God's
you're about to
favorite.
ask.
The rhetoric. Yeah. So Lala wants to respond
no,
as a
no,
female.
wait.
Hear
Just
from
let me
her.
just
She's
say real
trying.
quick. Just let me
Here,
say it
go
real
ahead. Just
quick.
ask the question, dog. We
Okay.
don't need
All
all the
right. Okay.
preface.
Okay. So I'm gonna get married to this girl. Okay. And
Okay.
then I gave her
Oh,
stipulations on
shoot.
what I expect from her, and then she gave me
Hold up. Stop
stipulations
there.
on what she.
What do you expect? Can you help?
Let him finish what he's saying. Let him ask the question.
I gave her stipulations. She gave me stipulations.
Gotcha.
Therefore, we are 100% combined together. What
Ah,
is wrong with giving your partner
you
stipulations
said
in your
You did not
contract?
say
expectations.
stipulations the first time. You said you were 100%
God.
responsible.
I think that it all depends on the individual. I guess he's speaking on the individualization, like what works for him and his partner. So technically,
Yes.
obviously, that's not going to work for everybody. It's
But
other
this is the
people
thing. This is the
that
thing. Because just now he just used the word stipulations. The disconnect came for me when he
And
said,
expectations.
as
He
a
said
partner in a
expectations
relationship,
too.
you
Yes,
are
sir.
100% responsible for your partner. That's where I said, hold up, what are we talking about?
yeah,
I'm never going to assume 100% responsibility for an adult. I will not do it.
I don't think I think how I hear it. I'll say accountability. I feel like you need to keep your partner accountable. Like
Accountable, yes, you can do.
if they say they're gonna do something, or y'all agree that y'all gonna do something, and it's not falling through, then you can give an accountability. But no, you can't force that person to do what they was,
Y'all,
But you
it's
have a
not that
anything.
hard.
But you
responsibility to
can't
hold
Just
put them
somebody
mesh.
accountable
accountable,
to their
Just
word.
mesh with
especially if
each
they said out
other.
of their mouth that it's gonna do it.
It's not that hard, but I'm
Would
gonna.
you have a
Ah,
responsibility to hold
you
somebody
said
accountable?
what responsibility? Does
And
Would
she
you
have?
have a
then, only
responsibility
way
to
I have a
hold somebody in
responsibility to hold you
accountability?
accountable is like you said, you and your girl gave each other stipulations. So yes, now you have a responsibility to uphold those stipulations. But let's move on from this because look, the way you
Exhausting.
asked that
It's
question,
fucking
it seemed
exhausting.
like you wanted us to pick at your relationship specifically because it's
Yeah.
not what we was here for.
Yeah.
Lala, what role modern dating is in your opinion?
Yeah, host. Thank you. Yep, you're right.
You came in asking what's wrong with this, and I give you the room to be wrong about my life. Nigga, we about your life, dog. No disrespect.
Yeah,
No, that's why I
everybody has
granted
to
the
live their
fallacy.
life the way they want
Right, and
to.
you're calling it a fallacy before we even get to the point. So you're not here to listen to nothing we're saying. You're trying to argue about how you chose to
And
live
you're
your
so
life.
nice about it, host. You're so nice about it. Like he's like, I gave her stipulations and rules, and Jesus Christ, are you her dad?
Right.
No,
No,
when you're in a relationship, it's
I'm her
completely fine to
patriarch.
give each other stipulations
Long
to the
live the
extent of this
patriarch.
is what I'm comfortable with. If you know that you're not going to be comfortable in certain situations, before we come together and get married, you got to let me know that, and vice versa. If you don't want me to be out at the club with the homies, like you got to let me know that now. If I'm already doing it before we get married, and the stipulation for once we get married is I'm home before midnight unless we out together, that's what makes you comfortable. You feel
And
me?
so host, check this out. What would be the irreversible response? So let's say you meet, because a lot of times you do meet in kind of like compromising areas. Like, let's just be real. Like, and so let's say that you kind of gather feelings and you're dating, and then you say, "Hey, I'm not sure that I'm like." You may have met him in a club. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you say to him, like, "I'm not comfortable," do you think you just have to put like? It's not that you have to make rules. Like rules are so tasking.
Like I said, make it make sense. Because if you
Yeah,
tell me
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
allowed to go to the club
Well,
because I'm
don't say
working
not
at a
allowed
club,
because that's like permission. Just say I'm not comfortable with you. Yeah,
exactly. You feel
yeah,
me? Tell me you're not comfortable with something,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's on me to be a good partner and say, let me take into account how I'm making you feel. All
And
right,
don't you
so
agree that
I'm
if you
not
were
going to
really into
promise you
somebody,
I'm
you
not
wouldn't
going
want
to
to be in that club. You wouldn't even
but
want to be there. The conversation wouldn't even happen if you were that into
yes
that
and no,
person. Do you
yes and no,
agree?
because again, it depends on who you are and what you do. Some people go to a club for different reasons, depending on where you're at and what your profession is. I've gone to a club just to be there because I was asked to be there, not to go to the club. You feel me? So it's like, it depends. And this is why having this conversation and stipulations is a thing, because you can
Yeah,
be like,
this is why you don't
I
have
don't
no
want you going to the club
responsibility,
with
you
your
dumb
boys on Saturday
motherfucker.
night when it's Toon Toon Saturdays. Like,
You proved me right. You're
you
proving me
feel me?
right.
It's like, all
You're
right, I
proving
might
me
go to the
right, dude.
club, but I'm only at the club before midnight and I'm leaving by midnight. And most of the time, it's a work situation. I'm allowed to go to the club with my boys every other weekend and be home before midnight. You feel me? You got to make it make sense. Just to
Yeah.
give a blanket
Yeah.
No,
statement
you
that you're
you
not
proved
allowed to
it.
do
You proved
something,
it right. You
that
proved
is
it right.
controlling.
No, you proved me right, dude. You have no
Well, I
responsibility.
don't think he was trying to prove you right. I think he was just trying to
Well, I
prove
know
bring
you
a different
unconsciously.
perspective. A
I know
different
you unconsciously
perspective.
do that. You unconsciously did that.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no,
Yeah,
unconsciously.
but I'm
Look
glad
at
I
him
was
using big
you
words.
right.
unconsciously proved me
He's
right.
using big thumbs up
That's how
words. You
fucking dumb you are,
unconsciously.
dude.
I'm glad you got the satisfaction of being right, dog, because I wasn't trying to be right or wrong. Lala, please go ahead and give your answer to the question.
But I think
Oh,
we
she's so
should.
quiet and sweet. Where are you from,
I think the
Lala?
I'm from the Bay Area.
From where? Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think the red pill. I think the sprinkle sprinkle movement, and I think dating apps.
I don't
No
understand.
sprinkle.
What'd she say? Translate it. I don't
You
understand.
said red pill, sprinkle, sprinkle, and what was the last one?
Ugh.
Dating apps.
And sometimes that's what it is, y'all. Like grown ass men, like don't get caught up. Like sometimes that is what it is. You know, we're not trying to be. Sometimes that is what it is. For real. Females are the like. Don't think we're any different than you.
Oh no, you are completely 100% different from us
Oh,
males.
I mean, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely different from you because I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying, I'm just trying to give you a female's perspective. I don't know why you're resisting. It would help you.
Well, I'm not too inclined with female perspectives on logic, so
Oh, I have to be logical because sometimes we're not logical.
most of the
You're
time
always
women are.
logical when you hook up. You never hook up. You never
I
hook
don't.
up. You go
I
out
don't.
there. Okay, is this John? I can't see his name.
Yes, John.
Oh, so you're always out there and you're always super logical.
Yes, I'm always
Oh,
logical.
okay. All right. You never just fuck for free?
No,
He
Oh,
getting
I'm
paid this
sorry.
man. What you talking about?
no,
No,
I have a
no,
responsibility
if
to my
I'm
life.
disrespecting your life story, I'm sorry. Like
Can I
he's
No,
ask
it's
you a
always
fine.
question?
super logical. Okay,
Actually,
someone
I
else.
don't. I'm gonna ask this
You
question.
don't either?
How
It's
would you
fine.
determine something to be logical?
You see
You
host
said, how
Lawson
do
in the
you?
beginning of this. That's why I say
Sometimes you hook
everybody ain't
up.
for
If you're
everybody, man.
single, so is anyone on this panel, you've never hooked up, just hooked up? Like,
Mm-mm.
Never in my life, not once.
Me
you're
neither.
lying. You are lying, host. You are definitely lying. He said not once, never in my life.
Oh, I'm
Well,
logical.
I'm gonna try to be more logical, okay?
Thank you. I'd appreciate it.
How do you determine if someone's being logical?
Bro, it's okay if you're not. No, we all
Look,
try
How
to
is it? Oh,
be.
wait.
That's our
look,
goal,
Zara.
right? Everybody
Look,
clap.
look, look,
Everybody
Kelly,
clap. Is that
Kelly,
our goal?
Kelly.
Yes. But
Listen,
sometimes you
But
just fucking are not. It's
not
okay.
him. He's
Relax.
responsible. He's responsible. Remember that. It's
Am
fine.
I on?
Dark child, dark child. Go ahead and answer the prompt, and then Lydia.
I might be on the wrong live because my people, we're not that logical all the time.
no, you don't even know what logic is.
Oh. Uh,
Like, what's the three laws of logic?
Bro, start your own live to ask that question. Like that's not what the question is here. You feel me? We're not here to talk about logic, especially not through whatever you view it as. You feel me? Like, please let someone answer the prompt. Dark kid or Lydia?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
After them.
Oh, my
Um,
bad, international. I skipped over you every time I said that.
Oh, okay.
okay, so I think there's a couple things. I think that definitely like social media, like she said, the sprinkle sprinkle movement, like dating apps are on the tip tap of your phone. You can meet people online instead of having to go organically meet people out in person. I think modern day radical feminism is crazy and it direct like it's you can hate it all you want, but
I
um
don't hate
I,
it.
I think it
It's
I think it
exhausting if
roots
you put
I think
verbiage.
it
Let her
roots
finish. Let her
I
People,
finish.
think it roots in
Kelly, let her
hating
finish her
men.
thought.
I think it roots in hating men and monogamy is gone.
you have to put verbiage to it. Sometimes you just hook up. God damn, why you act brand new?
Well, you can speak for yourself, but I'm married and the only man I've ever been with is my husband. So you can go out and catch 20 bodies.
Well,
I'm
no,
not,
that's
and my
good.
child.
That's good that you're married. I think you're on the wrong live, sis.
There is
He
no such
asked a
thing as being
question.
on the
I
wrong live, Kelly. It's an open panel.
I like Kelly's energy. I don't know about
Why
you.
does your husband allow you on this live with these
She's
grown ass
fun.
men? Why does your
answered.
husband? Where is your husband? Why aren't
Bro,
you
He's
with
at
Kelly,
him?
work.
Kelly,
He's
Kelly,
at work.
we off topic here. We
So
not
why
definitely
are you on this
personal.
live with people talking
Because
about
this is what's
fucking?
supposed to do with
Because
her
I
life.
have
She's a
freedom.
grown
He's
woman,
not
dog.
my owner. I'm not
Idiot.
on a
Idiot.
lease.
Look, stop it.
Bitch, you're bored.
Kelly, stop
Bitch, you are
trolling.
bored as
Kelly,
fuck.
stop
I
trolling.
am bored. That's why I'm
Kelly,
on a live, just
Kelly,
like you. You're here to talk to
Kelly.
people and find entertainment. So am
And
I.
it's okay. You can fuck for free if you want.
Bro, Kelly, look.
Well, I'm just not.
Let her finish.
I'm not a part of the 304 mindset. That's not
Oh,
my people.
man.
I don't claim that.
I do like Kelly was. He turned up.
Kelly's fun. I'm sorry. That's my toxic trait. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to be real. Y'all quit faking up in
Kelly
here.
is fun.
Shit. Quit
Kelly,
Look,
I'm
I
going.
faking,
just
y'all.
told
Kelly,
you.
I'm going through
Listen,
therapy, so
let
you
me
know you
speak
need
real
to
quick. Let me
stop.
speak real quick. Let me speak real quick. Everyone's opinion is welcome.
Here
The back
talking
and forth
about
is
I'm
fine, but look. So,
me.
Kelly,
I'm gonna
Kelly,
move on because
Kelly, chill, dog.
other people invite me. You can't keep muting me because I'm gonna leave. I don't
Everybody.
care. Be real, bitch. Your husband's at work
All right, look,
Gosh, my husband is at work.
look.
on a live talking about fucking. So you're bored.
Oh, I'm on a live talking about what ruined modern dating.
You feel me? So this is what I want to say. Back and forth is fine. Opinions are fine. She barely finished answering the question before she hopped in. We not here to dig into people's personal lives. And my one rule, I didn't say it before, is if you get muted and I start talking, do not unmute until I finish talking. And proceed to say whatever you want. But it's fine that you're on the live because, like you said, clearly we all here for a reason. So I don't know why she was so adamant on the we all hook up.
I gotta clarify, Ho. So we on a live talking about just hooking up and fucking? I missed the
That's not what
memo.
I'm saying. You
I
feel
was
me?
like, what?
That's not what the live was about. It's fine to bring it there, but some people are gonna argue that hooking up is what ruined modern dating. So
Yeah, that shit blew me for a second. I said, damn, I didn't even know what we was into.
you know what I mean? We want everybody to be a thought body.
Maybe
What
she
it sound
supports
like to
the
me.
free the nipple 304 mindset, and that's fine if you support that. I just
Right, and
yeah,
I'm saying it's fine to
I don't
support it,
support
but
that.
stop over talking people who just to tell them they lying. Especially after the woman say I'm married with one body. Like you can't really tell her she lying. You don't know her. Anyway, let's proceed. Dark Kid, are you there?
Forget about Mr. International.
No, I know. If Dark Kid's not here, I was about to drop him and then tell him Miss International. Go ahead. Miss International?
Yeah. I was thinking deeply about this topic, and I don't think nobody said my answer, but I'm gonna say toys had messed it up because women depend. They got these toys, right? And soon as they get a real man, they just give it up, like because they want their real feeling. So I'm thinking the toys affected their brain some type of way in their body, because like now they don't even hold out no more. You can meet a woman and just buy her a steak for $50, and now she ready to give you some vitamin P. So in my opinion, I'm thinking the toys caused a reaction because now they want the real thing so bad, like they don't even like wait to give the man the vitamin P. So now we getting them pregnant in like the first week, the second week, third. Now we having babies out of wedlock. You see what I'm saying? We're not even married. We don't even have to marry women no more because they just give it up. Like they just give it up like a wife in the first month. So I'm thinking the toys caused a reaction, man, and it's like, yeah, they just want to. Every woman I meet got a toy, bro, and I get it. They got freedom. They could do what they want. They even sell them at CVS now, and I'm
This is
mad at that. I'm
okay.
like, damn,
They sell it at
CVS.
Target and
I'm gonna
Walmart
say this
too.
on that. They
Yeah.
make plenty of toys for dudes, right?
Yeah, they do. They do.
I don't own one. Never bought one. Don't plan on it.
I think that like the social construct around it for like a woman, if you have a toy, it's like go you for like good for you. But then if a man has a toy, it's like oh you're weird.
But it breaks your vitamin
Why?
P. It breaks your.
No, I
your.
disagree with that. I'm just telling you that's what society is because yet again, modern feminism is
It's like
now.
playing with yourself is playing with yourself.
To be fair, host, there's a whole doll in a closet. That's different and
No,
creepy.
listen, Alicia. You know you can buy a man. You could buy the hips and butt of a dude and sit on it. You could buy a dummy and prop him
Why
up
you
and
know
look
that,
at you
host?
and he vibrate.
Why you know
What are you
that?
talking about?
Why you know that?
On international.
Why you know that? Let's see your Amazon cart. Let's pull this up.
It ain't in my car. I don't need nothing to bounce on, baby.
Don't open your
Out of
closet.
my
Did you
car.
ever walk in on that? Like, did you go to a girl's house, open her closet, and there's like
Did you walk in on a dude with a blow up in his closet?
I haven't.
Exactly.
But
This
it's
is the conversation
documented.
we're having right now. No, I have not. But they exist.
I'll wait my turn.
I'm over here saying, yeah, there's some weirdo stuff for women too. But have you seen it in real life? Have you seen it in real life? No, but the dude weirdo toys, like you feel me, it's just a double standard. I'm gonna say don't nobody need a toy. You feel me? I don't have one for what reason? There's people in hands.
Can I comment on what international?
I don't know. Some men don't know how to get the job done.
That's crazy, but I got to fight for us, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's something like myself, right? I'm not trying to get too personal. I ain't trying to get too personal with it, so we're going to touch on it. We're going to move past it, but me and my girl, we got this box, and this box has male toys, women toys, all kinds of toys. Sometimes we go out shopping for toys too as well, because you got to spice things up. So, like, everything, it's a lot of stuff out there. So if you do it together in unity, sometimes you may be gone. I'm on a business trip for a couple of days. You got to get off, do a little thing. Sometimes you gone, I got to get off, do my little thing. So, I mean, some people do a mutual thing, you know what I'm saying? So it could be a good thing.
No,
Okay, Eddie. Okay.
I ain't got no half bodies. I
Openness,
ain't got no half
Eddie.
bodies in
That's
the
what I'm saying.
closet.
You need to be like Eddie host.
Yeah, I don't got
He's
no
like,
half body
yeah, I got a
either.
catalog. What?
You on that monthly shopping trip.
And it costs money.
When I
It's
get a whole body,
expensive.
when I get that half body, I'm gonna update y'all. I don't know about that one yet. I got to put on that.
Yeah, let us know.
Say the update for Alicia.
Hey, I'm fine with. I support it. All right, I support that.
I might have to go back and
Know
find
what
Kelly
you
for that
want
conversation
in
too.
life.
You feel me? I'm sure she supported too.
I support that. Who's next? Am I next? No, I'm not next. I've been up here. I've been up here 2 seconds. I'm sure there's someone else who hasn't answered yet.
Soul Brother hasn't.
Hey, what's going on? My first time on the live.
What up, bro?
So I'm gonna go. I see everybody all over the place, and I love everybody's imagination. I think and when it comes to relationship and sex, I think everything should be on the table for you and your partner to be satisfied. So, and hey, if a man want to have a toy, let him have a toy. But I'm gonna go with the what's ruining modern dating in my opinion. So I would say social media and some of these fake movies about love. They come out about about relationships and stuff. Pretty much tradition is gone now. It's nothing. I mean, for me, I'm a traditional person. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just gonna sit back and listen to y'all because y'all got some interesting thing about in the closet.
But you know what else ruins relationships too as well? Kids, man. You know what I'm talking about? You're trying to get busy, you get the kid on the knock on the door, Daddy, Mommy. You're like, man, I'm mid-stroke right now. I'm telling you, that's gonna ruin a relationship real fast. You got to do the Heisman move on them real quick, push them out the way. I'm just trolling y'all.
I mean, I feel like those aren't universal dating issues.
You telling me everybody ain't dating with kids nowadays?
Good. Not everybody.
Damn, man. I thought they all came
Pet.
with these 2-3.
I think it's weird when the pet is in the room. My dog used to stay in the room. Like, if you don't get the pet out the room,
He's sitting there looking his tongue out.
Mommy, Daddy, what are you doing? That's weird. You gotta kick the cat and the dog out. But I think it's my turn. Yeah, is it mine?
Yeah.
Yes. To be honest, at the crux of it, there's all these other things that kind of compile on top of these two simple things. One, people aren't friends anymore. Like, men and women are not genuine friends anymore. Like, you don't see people just like this. We're on a panel, we're talking, we're having fun, we're joking, and you get to know someone fundamentally for who they and enjoy their company just as they are, without all of the extra stuff that get things complicated, right?
Yep.
And the second thing is people stop being romantic. Like, women stop like loving the romance, and men stop being romantic. I mean, like, I need the singing in the rain, rip your shirt off. I need the baby please, like, all that extra stuff. I think is really amazing to see when you see it, but that was a little bit more common in previous decades. So I think we don't love romance anymore.
So
If you put those two things together, you straight.
So I agree with you, but I think part of it is people aren't appreciative. Both men and women, really, people don't appreciate things. And like I said, social media, people see these millionaires that are spoiling these girls. So I mean that's the top 1%. Most dudes don't have that type of money, so they're like, oh, I deserve a Louis bag when they have been with 20 people. I mean, a high value man doesn't want that. And then the other thing is
Okay.
yeah, is
I hear you.
women give men things that are supposed to be given in marriage, but just in a relationship. Because, like who said earlier, look at how many baby mamas and baby daddies there are. Look at how many kids are willing to give a man a kid without a ring.
Yo, I posted. You probably got to search for a grip. I post a lot, but I just posted the other day. This woman was on the line with. I think I don't know if he's a life coach or people just ask him questions or what it is. But this woman got on there and she just said to him, there's a guy that she had been seeing. She doesn't want to be in a relationship with him, but she's thinking about having his kid. And he literally just was like, so There's a man that you don't want to be with, but you like him enough to have his kid. You don't like the man enough for a relationship with the man, but you like him enough to have his kid. And she said, I know, but, and he was like, no, just listen to this sentence and just tell me how it makes sense. She couldn't say that it made sense. He didn't even wait for her to. After he said it 3 times and she just started with explaining, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. He was just like, sis, I'm done with this conversation.
Now, you know I'm problematic, right? You know I'm a Capricorn from Brooklyn. I am problematic. So I couldn't do it, but I can understand where there is a fragmenting of those two decision-making centers. So there might be a man who you are attracted to how the virtues he possesses to father a child, how he would be with children, the leadership that he shows to be the father of your child, but he may not be a good partner for you. Y'all don't have the same type of humor. He doesn't like to have big back activities.
Listen, I understand that. But make it make sense as to why you would still have a child with the person if you do not want to be with them or have them around and in your life consistently. Because if I'm not going to be in a relationship with you, what makes you think you're going to get the full access to the parenting skills I possess?
Now, I didn't say that it was something that should be actionable or that should be.
You were defending it though, which is fine, but make it make sense.
So the making it make sense part is, what if she doesn't believe that she has a match in this life?
And so
what
this is what my mom said. She saw the video. She said what it is that she probably doesn't feel as if he'll give her a relationship or that they're
right.
But she's fine, so she wants his baby. That's not okay.
But what if that's her reality, though?
Hold up.
Sucks to suck.
I mean, sure.
Reality doesn't mean you have to say that it's okay. You feel me? The reality is that there are bees going off all over the place and exploding. It's not okay. We're not saying it's okay, though. You feel me? We have to be okay with telling people things are not okay.
Right. That part.
What happens when we have tons of women, oogles and boogles of women who only date a man based on the fact that she likes him for her, but he has no virtues to actually have a child with? See, because that's the other end of the spectrum. That gives you way more problems.
I understand, but you're saying that you think this man has the qualities to be able to father a child, but there's no relationship. Just because he has the qualities that you think would be good for a child doesn't mean this man even wants to be a father.
Fair. Oh, fair.
If I don't even want to be in a relationship, what makes you think I want to have a kid? Like,
absolutely. I don't think she should do anything about that. I think she can have those emotions. She can feel that way.
And that's what I'm saying. It's okay to have certain thoughts and feelings, but
right.
It's also okay for someone to tell you that they're wrong.
Right? No, don't do them. Feel them. Just don't do them.
I have a question for you.
Them intrusive thoughts. Sit down with those. Just sit down. Think about it all day, but just don't do that. I agree with you on that.
So you said she might feel that way and feel like there's no man out there for her. But think about it. I mean, even if the man didn't want a relationship with her but still was willing to give her a kid. So now whether he's a good dad or not, you're still putting your child in a broken home, a 2-parent household. Like, for what? Just so you can have kids? At that point, if you want a kid that bad, just go to a sperm bank and be a single mom by choice, because that's clearly what she wanted to be. She wanted to be a single mom by choice and just have a man in the father's life.
I mean, is that actually what she wants, or is she just settling because she doesn't feel as if she's going to get what she wants? You feel me?
But there's plenty of men that are willing to date women with kids that are not theirs. So she could have a kid by herself and then find a man that's willing to step up and be a good dad. So
are we just going when we kind of like fit in, or is there an order? Just trying to figure out what the
honestly,
is.
We're off topic. This is why it was
it sounded like it, but I was like, maybe it ties in somehow. I don't know.
Nah, because Lydia was just giving. I don't remember who was answering. I think she was just saying something, and she just brought up the fact that Alicia said romance is dead, and Lydia brought up the fact that there are women who are willing to have children for men that they don't even want to be with. So it's like, I don't know if this is exactly what she was saying, but that point is part of why the romance side of things kind of dwindled.
Oh, so she's saying
Not even
that
just
because
that.
romance being dead is the reason why modern dating is ruined.
She
Is that
wasn't
what
saying
you?
that was the reason.
It's
She said
it's
that
one
was
of
Oh,
one
the
of the things
reasons.
that have come with it being
oh,
ruined.
okay, right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So Lydia, what were you about to
Um,
say?
yeah, go ahead, yeah.
I said it's definitely one of the reasons, but not even just that a woman wants to have a kid but not be with the man. I'm saying a woman can be with a man, but she's willing to give him a kid without a ring, meaning she's making that man feel like he doesn't have to commit. So why would a man? Because if you think about it, and most of today's marriages, most men do not benefit from marriage. Not
Oh, I disagree.
obviously there are some men who do benefit from marriage, but most men in today's world do not benefit from marriage.
Men benefit from
I
traditional
disagree.
marriage.
So if a
I
woman's willing to give a man everything that you would typically give your husband or wife in marriage, why would he want to commit if he doesn't have to spend thousands of dollars on a ring or thousands of dollars on a wedding? Because she's
Yeah, I
willing to
would.
I
do
agree with
all
what
these
So,
Lydia's
things
saying
and ride or
too.
die.
One at a time.
Because she's willing to
well,
do all these things and be ride or die without the wife title. She's fine with being a wife, but with a girlfriend title.
yeah, I would. So I would say like to address that. Um, I think the second claim is bad because the first claim is not true in the first place. Most men benefit from marriages, point
hmm
blank. Period. There's very few men that end up losing, quote unquote, losing anything. Most men do not have money to lose. They're not. There's nothing to lose, right? So what you're getting? You're getting someone who's probably doing way more work than they probably should in a relationship. Typically, this is what you see. Um, so no, I don't agree. But to answer the prompt, about doing modern dating in your opinion, I think what ruined modern dating is actually old dating. I think it's the past. People romanticize what an old relationship look like, and they have no clue the dynamics of old relationships and how they were actually made up. Typically, back in the day, let's clearly leave their relationships because it was really taboo, right? Um, Not to mention back then, taking on somebody else's kid was also taboo as a man. So it's just not a good look. Not to mention, women didn't even have the right to have bank accounts. So how you gonna leave a relationship with 3 kids and you got no money? Like it doesn't even make any sense. Uh, so I think a lot of the times what you saw was a lot of people staying in relationships because of their religion, because of the social stigmas. So now it looks like, oh, all these marriages worked out and all these relationships work out. No, they didn't. I mean, people are forced to do these things, and if you want to call that like a statistic, then sure. But I don't I don't buy that as a statistic. I don't agree with that at all. So I'll land right there.
Hey, Philly, I got a question. How do men benefit from marriage? It's not a dig or anything. I'm just curious.
No, you good, bro. I'm
Hear
happy to answer the
your
question.
opinion on that.
Yeah. So typically, what you see in marriages is that the men are trying to provide finances in the situation, but they're not doing a lot of work with the kids. Um, so if you're saying that like doing a 9 to 5 is much more valuable than working with the kids, cleaning up the house, blah blah blah, then it would look like the man is not value. It's not. It would look
All
like the
right.
man
Let
is the.
me let me ask this in another way because what you're saying makes sense, but this is following the assumption that the woman is prioritizing the household and the children. If we do not have kids, and I've had a housekeeper for the last 5 years, now what? What you got for me?
A vast majority of marriages aren't like that. A vast majority. You're talking about a very small minority of marriages. So I would say like, sure, in that situation, yeah, the man's not winning. There are going to be situations where the man is losing, and they're going to be a majority, or they're going to be some that the man is winning, right? Like,
How
but
the
I'm
man?
talking about what I was simply referring to is just what majority of relationship looks like, right?
What it
Majority.
sounds like you're referring to, I'm sorry to cut you off, is traditional marriage.
Yeah. I mean, some of them, yeah. But even what you see nowadays is right. A lot of men will have um they'll want a modern relationship with traditional things as well. right? Like it's like they're not like picking a side.
What's wrong with that?
Well, the problem is it just doesn't work because
Yes,
it's
it does.
unbalanced. Like typically, the reason why like traditional relationships. Which is, I like some of the old things and some of the new things. So I'll just think that the other person is on that wavelength, and it just doesn't work. So it's a lack of communication.
You think it doesn't work if one party is completely modern and one party's mixed? Obviously, that makes sense. But why would you?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if one party wants both the modern and the traditional things, that creates an issue because then you're choosing all this stuff that makes your job easier, and the other person's job is way harder. So that creates an
So
imbalance.
you think it doesn't work if both parties agree?
No, if both parties agree, I'm not talking about when both parties agree. I'm talking about when they don't
So
have that
give
agreement.
me a more in depth, like give me an example of like a marriage where that is, or a relationship where that happens.
What do you like?
Like give me like I'm trying to understand because I don't understand. So give me examples of in a mix, in a traditional and modern day relationship. Give me the examples of
So
what the man would do and what the woman would do.
Yeah. So I already stated what a traditional man would do and a traditional woman would do, right?
Right.
So what you see now is in a modern relationship, you might find a man who isn't a provider, right? He doesn't have the finances to actually, finance this person's life and their kid's life, but he wants all of the house treatment, like so the cooking the meals and the cleaning and whatever else that women are traditionally supposed to do. So he wants both things at the same. So that again, that creates an imbalance because now you have the woman who's working, the quote unquote provider, but she's also doing the homemaker role as well. But
Well, yeah, that obviously. I mean, whether both parties are modern or both parties are tradition, if you don't agree, it's never going to work. I mean, I just fear this is.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying, later. But what you see is that like the problem that you see here is that men will get into relationships typically, and they're not stating these things up front, like what that situation should be or how it could be, right? And then
But that's the issue. Both men and women are getting into relationships nowadays without truly knowing the person.
That I'm not in this unless I'm gonna stay at home.
Can I try to touch on this?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to go after Lala. I haven't spoken out.
Thanks. So what I kind of agree with Philly on when you say a traditional marriage works is because in a traditional marriage there are very clear-cut roles. Any marriage can work well if there are clear-cut roles.
Society. Yes. The problem that you see is that society has this idea that men are supposed to be leaders and women are supposed to be the followers. So it creates an issue where people think that they're going to be mind readers and get into relationships where now there's that imbalance and people are scared to kind of say what they need to say.
But that's a personal issue. That's a relationship issue. That's a person-to-person issue. You shouldn't get in a relationship with someone unless you truly know them. These are important questions to ask. Like, I think a lot of people date just to date, and a lot of people don't date for marriage. So they're okay with not truly getting to know the person, which is fine. But then don't be mad when this mixed BS happens, because these are all important questions that should be talked about within the first few months of dating, or should be talked about before even dating.
I agree. You know what? I think that as far as like traditional and modern, I think traditional men definitely, they used to take on the income and provide security.
And the modern men nowadays, they just take a back seat, and the women are now, they're basically the head of the household.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. I feel like you were kind of more on the head when you were saying that modern dating and traditional dating is what caused the problem between what is modern dating. Because like when you talk about the traditional man taking on all the responsibility, you also brought up the fact that that was the case that had to be. You feel me? Women weren't allowed to go to work and they weren't allowed to have bank accounts. Once that changed, the jobs that they had paid marginally less. So of course the responsibility was still on the male. So it's like we're stepping into a time frame where women are realistically making more money. You feel me? So it's like the expectations are altering all around. So it's like I feel like we failed to address that part of the conversation, but still talk about expectations. And I know when I gave the example of I have a chef and I have a cleaner, it's like, yes, that might not be everybody, but dude, I've been cooking since I was 8 years old. You feel me? I'm better than half of the women I've dated ever. You feel me? And I know how to clean. I was a professional cleaner. You feel me? I used to get paid to clean other people's places. They would call me. So it's like I'm not the anomaly when it comes to modern
You
dating.
are, but God, I disagree with you completely. You are the anomaly, big dog.
Yeah,
you are. You are.
Yeah,
Don't
you
you?
learn how to
I'm
cook.
telling you,
Don't
brother.
hype
Do
him
not.
up. Don't hype him up.
No, if a man learn how to
What I'm
cook,
saying
yeah,
is
that's
I know I'm
good
not
enough.
the only man who knows how to cook and clean.
No,
Because
yeah,
I know
but
other
no.
men who can.
Yo, God, I agree with you because I know that I'm the exact same way as you, bro. I was raised cleaning. I remember my brother used to yell at me. He was like, yo, so you can't clean my house? Bro, this is your house. I'm not cleaning your damn house, but this is my brother, right?
Are you guys
This is how
islanders?
yes, we were.
I can hear the accent.
This is how we were, bro. So like my mom came up to the US when I was 11 or 12 or something like that. So I've been cooking by myself since then. I remember calling her long distance, like, yo, how do you make rice porridge? How do you make curry chicken? This ain't nothing new for me, bro. No woman, and you said half of the woman. No woman has ever cooked better than me, big dog. None.
Can I,
Okay,
I
I
want to
cook,
jump in real
Wow.
and
quick?
that is
Hold on,
not
hold on.
this,
Can I
this is
jump in real
not a
quick?
fallacy.
Hold on,
And
my love.
I'll land. That's fine.
I want to jump in and respond to the differences from speaking from a woman from the Caribbean as well. But I know Lala and Bundle were waiting to go, and I'm loud, but I do take turns. So I'm gonna yield to Lala to let her finish what she was saying because I know the traditional versus modern since I'm living it. So I'm gonna yield to her.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was just sort of piggybacking earlier off of something that Philly had said about traditional marriage being something that works. And I was stating the fact that it works because of the clear-cut gender roles. I still think that can work in a modern era, but there has to be the communication of what is expected and what you want from your partner. If you want him to be the breadwinner, he needs to be told that in this modern era. It's not necessarily expected. More nowadays, traditional would be a 50-50 versus an old school, which would be a man doing 100. And that's really where I was at with it. So thank you.
But I think when
That
you
point real quick. I don't want to go too crazy off topic or take over it. I'm sorry to hijack, but that 50-50 thing, that's a fallacy. That's made up. That's a myth. If a true relationship, you're talking about lifelong, that's 100. There's more than
that's what I was
finance.
just about to say.
The housework is
There are
a part of
plenty of
that. The
people,
kids.
dog. There are women who are not willing to do more than the man is doing. There are men who are not willing to do more than the woman is doing. You feel me? When it comes, we're speaking financially. If you're an adult who understands life is not just based upon the bank account because you have to wake up, you have to have toiletries, and you just said you got to cook and clean, then you
All right.
understand that it's not always going to be 50-50. But right, I feel like we're strictly talking financials right now.
That's what I said earlier in this conversation started off though. Vetting is hugely important. That's where we just misalign at because you get with a person and expect something out of them and just for them to transform into something that you want them to be. But if you got into that relationship before you got in that relationship and you knew, okay, me personally, I'm not going for a girl that's going to the club every weekend. I'm not going to ask you now 3 months later down the road, hey, I don't feel comfortable going to the club on the weekend. I'm not going to go ask the girl, hey, can you pick up some work because I want to bring more finance to the house. I want to talk to you first, get to know who you are, your mentality, where you are in life, what your aspirations are. And if we match together, we're going to take this long term, we're going to make this work. I'm not just going to get in a relationship with somebody and expect them to start stepping up and doing these things and give you these expectations and all that in a relationship. I wouldn't even been in a relationship with you at that point because I knew who you were to an extent. You're going to learn more as you grow more and go through life. But we got to vet harder when it comes to these relationships, man. People just go into relationships expecting them to work out and change people, and you can't do that. That shit gonna go nowhere.
So a comment that I had put in something I wrote in the comments was that a woman's value, I think a lot of times when we look at traditional, we look at it just as domestication and schmecks, right? And because of its proximity to the servitude and then also the slavery and all of the oppression that we've had as people of color, we have now it's led to the denigration of the role of women in a household, which is not just relegated to domestication. And even in domestic tasks, there are elevated functionality in those things. So for example, as a woman, if I'm cleaning the house spiritually, and because I'm from Ireland, so when you clean the house, you have to clean it in a perfect way, because there's a way that you clean that cleanses your home. When you cook, there is a way that you cook that actually gives energy to your body. There's a woman will look at your face and know you're deficient in certain vitamins and know to add more vegetables, more green, more yellow, more orange, whatever it needs to be on your plate. When someone draws you a bath, it is one of the greatest forms of love because it's actually a cleanse to your spirit. Everyone's now on their spiritual tip, but coming from the culture I come from, I grew up understanding that, and it's very matriarchal. So women were always respected for roles when they were doing it. I come from a culture where men can outcook women regularly. However, once she's drawing you some tea in the morning, she wants you to get the gas off your belly so that you can go ahead and go to work. There's an ownership in your partner. That I'm not going to do that for any man. I'm not going to do that for a man, but for my man, that's my man. If I keep telling him about the fact he doesn't take care of his health and he gets hurt outside, that we're doing life together. I have to make sure he's okay. And men, and y'all don't like it, but sometimes you guys neglect yourselves in ways that you don't want to be honest about, that your partner will check you about. And that is one of the greatest assets that men have when it comes to relationships. And also women, it's not just about the money, because we have to go and provide for ourselves now anyway. So I come with my own money, I come with my own influence, and I come with my own power. Trust me, there's nothing a man can tell me, oh, I could go make 6 figures, as do I. What else? You have to actually have the ability to assist me in my emotional regulation, hold space and grace for me when I can't see past the thing that I'm dealing with. Have the patience for that. Have the ability to execute. I like men that get things done because I know he can execute, not because he has money to throw, but he has the ability to start from A and finish at B. That is attractive. But we get caught up in what people present to us that we lose sight of what those roles really were. And because of that we've kind of crapped on both blue collar men. We've crapped on men that don't make as much money. We crapped on women that say, that want to have simple lives. We don't pay attention to the plain Jane girl. You want the girl in the club that got mad dudes in her DM. We're not valuing the things that actually make our lives better. And that is where everyone screws up. I'm completely happy because I know I'm a good person to do life with, and I will only settle for a person that is good to do life with. If you don't have that in you, you're gonna lose. And I land.
And that, my brothers and sisters, is the difference between a queen and a woman.
Well said.
Truth, Alicia. Beat that truth, girl.
Right. And then you keep things in the closet sometimes, and you break them out. And you
Alicia, where you from? Where you say you was from?
my mom's
That'd be Jamaican.
and my mom is from Belize, and my dad is from Jamaica, and I used to live in Jamaica for like 2 years.
I can hear the accent.
How long have you been married?
I am single. I was
and speaking all that facts. Okay.
Period. Girl. Man gonna marry you tomorrow, girl. Tomorrow.
I'm about to say not for long.
I'll be honest. I did not learn the depths of my emotional regulation until last year or 2 years, and understand truly what accountability is. Like, I don't get me on accountability because I know there's gonna be a whole tangent and Host don't got time for that. But in essence, he could be like, time's up. We could get back to the prompt, ma'am. However,
to keep it
No,
short.
Alicia, I need that energy. I need that. I need to hear that. I'm trying to work on myself in the same way. I need to hear this.
And that's beautiful. And I think that like as women, we need to work on that together. I was on a live where there was these women that were like, why do older women feel the need to police young girls' bodies? And I had to explain to them, like, as a woman that I'm from the Caribbean, I'm from Central America, you develop differently. And the women in my family had to give me guidelines on what is appropriate and what's not appropriate, not because they wanted to have me in subjugation and put their boot on my neck, but they have situational awareness as grown women that I did not have as a child. And they allowed me to stay a child and have an innocent mind by just letting me stay to the guidelines. That's all. But when you get older, as a woman, you understand why you shouldn't be outside at 10 o'clock at night with that boy. Bring your ass in the house, right? As women, we don't bake fully. As people, we don't bake fully. The outside bakes before the inside. Your mind isn't developed yet. Your body, your hormones and your emotions are out of whack. You need someone to help you stay in that weird interface until you come out of it. So I had a whole thing with these women, and they kicked me. You shouldn't. They try to cuss me out, and I was like, you know what? I understand what men are saying now. I get this, but the responsibility and the accountability, people use these words interchangeably, and they are not. Responsibility is your willingness to take ownership of what happened. I knocked the vase over. Yes, I did. I may not care about anything after that, but I'm big and bad enough to tell you I did it. Absolutely. I'm Jamaican. I'm loud and I'm arrogant. I can tell you, yeah, I did it. What's up? Right? That is
You're flipping the words. That what you just described was accountability.
no,
Accountability
it's
is
not.
action.
Lily, let her finish.
Hold on. Let me say what
I was on the same train for a second, thinking that no, you're kind of confusing it, but no, she's 100% right. Being responsible is saying I did it. Taking accountability is saying okay, and now all of this goes with it. Because I could break the base and see it spill and say, "Ooh, I did that," and the mess is there. I can be accountable and say, "Oh, I did that. I'm sorry. It was an accident, and I'm gonna clean it up." And if you really want,
I can post the definition if you
Yes,
like, man.
cleaning it up would be accountability.
No, can I
Post the definition if
please
you like,
just
man.
answer the prompt so I can just
Go ahead,
get
Bundle.
in? I want to get
Oh no, I
in
was
with
waiting
y'all.
for you before. You jumped in late, girl. I was like, all right, Lala went, bundles going. Go ahead. I'll let you. I'll yield to you.
So what ruined modern dating in my own opinion? I feel like no real guidance. Like how she just said how like the woman in her family taught her things like you have to be okay with listening to people that are older than you. So like when I was younger, I was listening to the way my mom and I saw the way my mom treated my dad. Like I grew up in the house with both of my parents, so like even when they had conflict, I saw the dynamic, that feminine versus that masculinity, and like I really didn't understand. I hated. I'm like, my daddy is so tough. My daddy is so aggressive. He's not like my mom. I used to always say I love my mama more than I love my daddy. And I'm like, because he's not really around. He's always at work, and I don't see him that much. And then when he comes home, he's like putting his foot down and telling me to take lip gloss off my lips and telling me I can't go outside and play after 6 p.m. So it took, me to become like maybe like 20 something. Like really, it took me a minute, like maybe 22, and then I realized like, dang, now I'm dating, and now I'm trying to find the things that I said I didn't even like in my dad, but that's what I need to create a good like family and a good foundation. I need to listen to a man. I need to submit to a man. I need to know my roles. I need to be calmer and I need to regulate my emotions. I can't just spaz out and things like that and think people are supposed to just give me things. So it took me to actually get in the water myself to actually understand how much value it was that I had a father in my household. So I think that that's like the start point. And then the second part is like religion. Like religion has just died down. It's so many new religions. Everybody want to just be spiritual, but don't want to say God is the creator of all things. Okay, yeah, you can be spiritually into God. Stop trying to erase the Holy Spirit out y'all whole existence.
Spiritual. I'm like, can you elaborate a little bit?
Right, what are you
I can go outside and say I'm giving thanks to the sky, and that's my spirituality. Like,
No, the Lord Jesus Christ ain't
it's like there's so
in that car accident.
anything that you take as being a connection between you and spirit is spiritual. My morning bath could be spiritual for me. Like, what are we talking about? I
It
hate when
sure
people say
is.
that.
So that's just my thing. So I feel like my parents also had God at the center of their marriage. So if there was any problems, they would pray, and boom, answered prayers. My mama had cancer, boom, ain't got no cancer no more. So all I'm saying is, what keeps a family together, in my opinion, is unity, God, and the desire to want better for you guys as a whole. Like in America, we're a very individualistic society, so we're for self. Like if you talk to the average single person, woman or man, they're gonna tell you their personal goals, what they personally accomplished, their kid, and how their kid is successful. Okay, where's your mate? How did you got here by yourself? You didn't have no help at all. Nobody taught you how to ride the bike. You just taught yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of forget that you need other people to create a fully fulfilled life, whether we want to admit that or not. Nobody wants to be sitting alone and just sad in a room and alone. People need to be around other people. People need to work together. That's when the world is flourishing the most, when we all working together as a team. So like me and my guy, when I met him, he didn't have a job. But guess what? I ain't had one either, because we entrepreneurs, right? But you feel me? So a man who provide, I wasn't really looking for that, because I'm like, shoot, I'm out here, we just getting to it. And we were both, working our business. We were both trying to build individual businesses. And then we realized, like, how can we combine this? How can we make this like a us thing? And so slowly but surely, we built a team. He had his friends, I had my friends, and we would go state to state, and we would sell our products, okay? And we would do it together as a team. We would tell these people, this is how you do it. This is how many hours we're going to spend doing it. And this is what you're going to get back if you just put that time in. They listen to us, and boom, we making money. We making $2,000-$3,000 a day. So now, what do you do when the money isn't the issue? Money is really the main issue in a lot of these relationships. Where the women is chasing niggas, the dudes with money, the men is trying to prove they got money to get the woman that they desire. Because the woman is out there for y'all to get, but it's like, okay, who do you really want? You feel me? So if the money is not the issue anymore, then what is the center of how do you keep the relationships like together? And what we had to do, we had to work on ourselves. Another thing Miss Alicia said above is we had to individually work on ourselves. So we both went to therapy separate for our own childhood traumas. We both got closer to God separately and together. And then we both learned how to invest. We like, okay, if we making this amount of money, let's just invest half of it into a cash flowing business so that we ain't got to go out and keep making money like hand to hand. You know what I'm saying? So over time, we had to learn to do all roles. So now we finally have a house together. And that was when it got real crazy, because it was like, okay, who do what? Because I ain't just cooking and cleaning
Congrats.
over here. Like we can pay for a cleaner, like the God's favorite said. We can pay for a chef. We can pay for a nanny. So now, what are the roles in this household? So then we had to realize that we had to write down, like, okay, maybe we both can help with the kid. We have a kid each. They both 14 years old. They both boys. So I'm like, okay, these days I'll pick up the kids and I'll play, hang out with them and do this while you at work, and then while you working and hustling, and then the next day you do it. You know what I'm saying? So we do everything. Like if we want to clean together, he'll sweep, I mop. I'll wash the dishes. He put the dishes up. I clean. He both whatever. Like it's both. Like it's like super duper equal. If he don't have the money, because like whatever he invested in didn't work, okay, no problem. I'll pay for all the bills for whatever. Now he's going back to school to get his master's, no problem. I'll pay majority or whatever. It's just about working together.
So
And
yeah,
I think that's what killed modern dating is like nobody wants to work together. People are selfish and they don't see that long game. They just see the right now. What can I get from this other person right now? And they're not really looking for the future.
can I ask you a question, Bundle?
What's up?
You guys are equal in your household?
No, he make the final say on stuff. Like if I want to go on a trip, like I wanted to go to Dallas, and we saw that shooting in Fort Worth, and I'm like, oh no, like I don't care. Let's just go to Dallas and not Fort Worth. And he was like, we're not going. Cancel the flights. I paid for the flights. He like, cancel the flights. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Then he told me he didn't want me to wear an outfit. I'm like, okay, I spent a lot of money on this outfit. He said, I can't get my money back. He said, I don't like it. So I gave it away to a friend at my shop. So yeah, he's the leader, but I'm saying as far as like duties, and then I still cook more because he liked the way I cook more than he cook. But sometimes I like the way he cooked too. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll cook. We entrepreneurs, so we don't have like nowhere to be. So we might eat 4 times a day. You know what I'm saying? So meals, and I might cook the other 2 meals. That's what I mean by like we share responsibilities.
No, I get it now. I was just trying to understand your mindset. I just got it.
Okay.
I wanted to reply to Philly, but I wanted to let Reggie go with the prompt because I think he just got here.
Yeah, Reggie and Lala didn't answer directly either. But go ahead, Reggie. We haven't heard from a dude in a second.
No problem. What ruined modern dating in your opinion? Oh man. So in my opinion, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to blame it on the women. So
Damn. No, I wish I'd have let you go, Reggie.
I know. I had to go there. So unfortunately, right, men have been dating the same way since way back then. We've been working hard to try to protect and provide for the women. But now modern day women are bossed up now. The only thing that changed was the women. So now that the women are bossed up, they don't know how to get with the times. It's like now that they bossed up, they're not realizing that certain men don't make as much as they make. And because some women look at leadership and breadwinner and put it together. So if you're not making the most money, some women say you can't lead them. I don't see how that go together. But it's just they're not adapting to the new time of them shoes of men when it comes to finances. So men always
But
since history dated down, right? Since history, men always dated down when it comes to finances. We can meet a girl at Burger King and try to bring them up to our status. It ain't too many nurses who will meet a man at Burger King and be like, you know what? I like him. I'm a bring him up to my status. That's just not how it works. And now that women are fortunate enough to do that, they should start doing that. Find you a good man who's in a bad situation and bring him up to your status.
He just said fortunate enough to do that.
This man funny. I'm glad you
like the way
I find this man. This is hilarious. You're a funny dude,
I like
Reggie.
the way he phrased it.
It's the truth, because men always did it through time, and we'll find a girl who's less fortunate and bring her up to our status. But
but Reggie, it wasn't a choice though. It wasn't a choice. That's the difference.
No,
Reggie, you trying to be a sugar baby,
you had a
Reggie?
choice not to do that, brother. What you
I
mean
have-
wasn't?
Back in the
So
day,
Reggie,
they did it.
Yes,
I
heard my
Reggie,
name.
you don't think that feminine men aren't the issue at all?
Feminine men.
Because
I think
in my opinion, a lot of women are masculine nowadays, and a lot of men are feminine nowadays. So for a woman to fully thrive in her femininity, and for a woman to fully be a soft woman, I think she really truly needs a strong masculine presence.
Can you give me an example of
Whether
what
that's-
this
whether
feminine
that's
man
a
is
father.
doing? Lydia, can you give me an
Hold
example of what the feminine man is doing?
I
I can give you an example
I will
real
in a
good.
second.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I want to understand your mindset.
So
I like
hold
that.
on, if you would let me finish.
No problem.
So, like I said, for a woman to fully thrive, almost any man will tell you he doesn't want a combative woman. He wants a feminine, soft woman who respects him, right or wrong. What man doesn't want that? Every man wants that.
Majority men don't.
So for a woman to fully thrive in her for a woman to fully thrive in her femininity, she needs a masculine man. Whether she wants a man that is fully traditional and fully provides everything, but at least minimum needs to provide emotionally and needs to provide a protection. Because I would never be with a man where I know where if I go out with you, I'm like, if something happens, am I going to be safe? I would never be with a man where I have to question that. But a lot of men are
a direct answer of what's making this man feminine in your eyes.
Right. And I want to say the
So-
same thing,
so
Reggie.
for-
Hold up,
so
Lydia.
for that-
If you don't have an example,
Lydia.
if you don't have an example,
My bad, bundle. 1 second, because that was not an example of what a feminine man is. You feel me? You just gave an example of what you want out of a man, masculine, and one of the things you led with, the first thing you said was emotional support.
Bingo.
So hold
So,
on.
can
So
you
I
please
think
give an
if
example
I was
of
I
what
was
a
gonna get to
feminine
an
man
example.
is?
So, like I said, a lot of these. So there's a lot of men where you see these crazy things happening where a woman is getting attacked, or and other men are just watching a man beat on a woman.
That's not
That's
feminine
not
love. I'm
crazy to
sorry.
y'all.
Wait. Hold on. Wait.
Yes,
No,
it
that's
is.
not.
Yes, it
Lydia,
is.
can I? I'm
Yes,
gonna
it
give you
is.
one example, and I'm gonna hang this up because I don't think you understand. Just off based off what you said, right? Let's say you have a son, right? Let's say you have a 18-year-old son, right? And he's driving up the street, and he see this young lady getting hit on by her boyfriend. Are you encouraging your son to jump out of his car to go defend a stranger? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what she's saying.
Yes, or
Makes
at
you
least call the
feminine.
police.
Dumbest thing you can tell your son to do.
That is
That got
extremely
to be the
idiotic and
dumbest thing you
dangerous.
can tell your son to do.
These YNs is walking
Why would
around
you
with
set your son up
switches.
for failure?
Yeah.
Like,
These
and
YNs is walking around here with
men.
switches.
This is why men don't let women raise men to be men, because that's the idiotic. I don't want to. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just saying that is a crazy.
It's idiotic. Imagine you got a newborn at home, right? A brand new newborn, fresh out the hospital. And Lydia's telling you, hey, even though you got a kid and a wife at home to go take care
You
of,
seen that
I
woman
want
get
you to go
smacked
on
up,
the
now it's
street.
time to crash out. Is your
Yeah.
responsibility? Are you a
Like
feminine man?
that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
I'm not saying that you have to go in and fight the man.
I got the example. Let me give y'all a good example.
That don't make him not feminine. That make him smart and logical.
Can I give y'all an example of
Go
a
ahead,
feminine
Bundle.
man?
Go ahead, Bundle, because I want to understand that
Okay.
point. Go ahead, Bundle.
My friend had her tire go out, and her guy got real mad at her and went off like, "Man, you always driving crazy," and da 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 da. And for whatever reason, he went off of her, and come to find out, he didn't even know how to change a tire. She had the tools in the car. This man was like, "Man, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to call the Uber, get up out of here." And it was like, all you gotta do is change the tire, boo. You know what I'm saying? So she had to change her own tire because her daddy taught her how to change the tire, but her man didn't know how
So let
to.
me get
But
this
listen,
correct,
maybe
Bundle.
his dad
Hold
didn't
on.
teach him how to change the tire. You're mad at him for not
Bingo.
having the
I'm
intellect.
not
to
mad at him.
outweigh
I
his
said
son.
that's not
Hold on,
masculine to get.
Can I ask you a question,
So
Bundle?
let me
Hold on,
let me finish what
No
I
problem.
feel, because my man can't change a tire either. So I'm not gonna call my man a tire, but let me tell you the difference between my man and her man. My man came up with a solution. He said, I have AAA. You didn't know I got it for you, but I got AAA. We're gonna call them up, and you know what I'm saying, we're gonna just wait in the car, chill out till they come. Don't worry, be calm, babe. I got you. I got you. He secure it was nighttime, and he made me feel secure, and he came up with a solution. Her man did not come up with a solution. She had to make calls, call family members, friends, and basically ultimately had to change her own tires.
Look, I'm
Can I
glad that you
respond to that,
committed
Bundle,
the
real
rest of
quick, Bundle?
that
So
story
it sounds like
because
you
a
had.
lot of people
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
will say stuff like that as an example of what makes a man masculine or feminine. And a part of that is just a part of upbringing and having a good
Bingo.
role model. Because if I didn't have a
Not
role model, how am I going to be able to do something? You didn't know how to do it neither. So now I'm feminine and okay, bet. I'll take that. You feel me? So no,
Because
I'm glad you followed through with
hold
the
on,
listen,
Lydia.
let
Can
me
I add
finish
on
what
to
I'm
what he said?
saying. I'm
Let me
glad that
finish. I
she
want to add on
followed
to
through
that.
with the rest of the example because no, he did not change the tire, but he had already taken the necessary steps for the situation, which that is leadership right there. And he also calmed the situation down, de-escalated it.
Yeah, but the other
100%,
lady,
I
her
agree.
man is feminine because he didn't do that.
Can I ask you a question, Bundle?
What's up?
Didn't do it, and he got
It's
angry
not
with her.
feminine.
So
And
based
he
off,
got,
That is
that's
not
the
feminine.
other part y'all didn't realize. He
so
also got
Anger's
upset with
feminine.
her.
that's
He got
Anger's feminine though.
anger is
when
not
He was
feminine.
just mad at
when a
himself.
situation
Anger
occurs,
is
Y'all gotta
not
stop,
feminine.
man.
Listen,
when
can I ask you a
your woman is looking for you to guidance as a leader, you are supposed to come up with solutions
That's great leadership. That's not feminine energy.
without showing frustration with her for causing the problem. He showed
Right? Yeah.
frustration with her.
Anger is
Bundle,
feminine.
can
That's
I
what
say
you're
something,
saying.
Bundle?
Anger
He
is
didn't show
feminine.
frustration in general, like, oh man, this is gonna slow us
Bundle,
down.
Bundle.
He
He
directed
showed
it at her.
That's
Exactly.
leadership qualities that have nothing to do with
So
femininity, right?
because she's a
So
reckless driver, he shouldn't comment on her
He
reckless
wasn't
driving.
a reckless driver. It was snow. We live
he
in
said she
Chicago.
keep doing it. He said
It
she
was
You
keep doing it.
exactly. You said that she kept
So that
doing it.
means
I
she
don't
a
understand.
reckless
Okay,
driver.
what
If
when
is
it's,
I
I
asked
mean,
her, when was the last time she had a flat tire, she told me 3 years.
okay, we getting
oh,
past the point.
okay.
Can I ask
Yeah,
you a
yeah, we
question,
are.
Bundle? Bundle, can I ask you a
I
question?
asked all of these questions. I actually
No,
did.
can I
I
ask
made
you a
sure of
question
it.
though?
Yeah, you can.
So if a woman don't know how to cook or clean, is she not feminine?
Wait, you going in and out. You going in and out.
That was me.
If a woman don't cook, is she not feminine?
It
If she
depends on the
doesn't do
dynamic of her
basic,
relationship because
There
it
shouldn't even be
depends
an
on the dynamic of
There
the
shouldn't even be an
relationship. It depends, like
No,
I
you just
just
said
said.
automatically because this man can't change the tire. Wait, but you just said this man can't change the
Okay.
tire, so he's
So
automatically feminine.
I got
He
this
can't cook.
girlfriend. I got this
You
girlfriend.
got
She a
you got
stripper.
you got your people
She a
confused, dog,
stripper.
because she didn't say that. She just gave us a full
I
example.
I think
That's the
that
Right.
if you
difference.
No, wait. I'm finna give
I
you
think if
another
you don't know
example,
how to
Reggie.
cook basic,
Reggie, let me give you another example. I got this girlfriend. She a stripper,
All right,
and she cook all the time. She used to always cook all the time because she only strip at nighttime. So of course she cook all throughout the day, right? She even will bring food to the shop. She's an amazing cook, right? She got with this rich dude. He told her, "You ain't gotta cook again. I like to go out to eat. I like to have a chef, and we got this mansion, and you ain't gotta cook again. Period." So that girl is super duper uber feminine, and now she does not cook.
no, that ain't what I said.
So that's why I
No,
said
Bundle,
it
that's not
depends
not
on
what
the
I said, Bundle.
situation. What you say?
you're
I
Cook
cutting in
can't.
and
no
out.
more if
You
she
going in
don't
and
know
out.
how to cook.
Breaking up.
I don't
Um,
think you said that.
what
Is
I'm
that what
saying,
he
Bundle,
said?
is
He
if
said
she
how to
don't.
cook. I don't think that's what.
No, listen, I did. I literally said that. Bundle, listen to what I'm saying, because you
No.
said this man don't know how to take. Bundle, you got to listen to understand what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
You just said this man don't know how to change a tire. That's what make him feminine. And I'm saying this lady don't know how to cook. Do that not make her not
And I'm
feminine?
telling you that you
I
got
think
your
that
people wrong from the very beginning because Bundles did not say a man not knowing how to change a tire makes him feminine.
That's
That
because
was
I said
Lydia.
my man don't change a tire. I just said my own man doesn't change tires.
So you over here telling
Well,
people that they need to listen to understand. You missed it all
right.
the way from the
Right.
beginning because
And
you
I
were on the
said
same
my
You said
man
the
is
wavelength.
wrong
not
thing,
feminine.
Bundle.
To
No,
be
you're
fair,
describing leadership, Bundle.
yeah, to be fair, the reason why Reggie is implying that is because the question was, give me an example of what a feminine man is, and then Bundle proceeded with that example. So that's how
Lydia
Reggie
brought
is
it
That
up
getting
was
that
a good
first. The
information.
whole
example.
change the tire
No,
thing Lydia
I
brought up
know. No, no,
first.
no, no.
Lydia brought
No,
up
Yeah,
the
God
he
Savior,
tire
I
agreeing
thing
with
know.
me.
first.
Wait, I
No, but God
He
Savior, I
agreeing with me.
know. But the
hold
reason, the
on.
Yeah, he
reason
agreeing
Lydia
with me.
brought it up, but Bundle gave the example, is what I'm
Right,
saying.
but
So
in
that's
her
how the connection
example,
was
she did
made.
not say that the man was feminine. She literally said,
What
I'm
But
she
giving two different examples of men who didn't know how to change tires. One dude complained and argued with the woman about it and made it her fault, and he didn't know how to do it either. The other dude had already taken the necessary steps and had AAA already on the way before she could even flip. And he de-escalated the situation because she was worried and freaking out. You feel me? So she gave two examples. He's harping on the one part of it that somebody else said.
right? I was gonna
so
say
so
that.
I
And being
to add on
condescending, telling people
to
that they
add on
need to
to
listen
bundle
better.
so to add on to Bundle's thing, I think her in the one example where her man already had it set up, like she said, she made him feel calm and secure. She was able to put her emotions in check because she knew her man got her. But versus the other dude, which clearly it was an accident. Nobody picks to get a flat tire. She's emotional. She's stressed out about it, and then a man comes in yelling at her. That's not gonna help me calm down. That's gonna stress me out more and make the situation worse.
So I kind of feel like
So if you're
we're
missing the
using.
masculinity, femininity differences between the two, I don't know how.
I wanted to say that I think that we're taking immaturity and using that as a way to negate the other person's gender expression. So, like a man that doesn't know how to regulate his emotions in a way that expresses, hey, I don't know how to do this and I don't know how we're going to get out of this. Let's work together on it. If he's not mature enough to do that, that doesn't make him necessarily feminine. That makes
I
him
will say people will
immature.
usually take that
He's
type
an
of trait and characteristic in a man and say he is being feminine though because he's acting irrationally.
Right, but that is a misgeneralization because women are extremely rational.
But when a
You see,
woman acts irrational, people call her crazy. So
In
what's
that
wrong with
situation
that?
right
I
there,
don't
freaking
see
out
I don't
because of the tire, no one would have
he's
called it
immature.
crazy. They would have said you're being a woman.
Right, but
no
the
no no
problem
no
is
no.
it's
I'm
not being a
saying
woman.
This is
Hold on,
wild.
hold on, hold on. I'm saying he's not being a woman, he's being a child. And that's the issue. A
That most
woman
women
is
are children.
no, that's
so
what you're
and
indirectly
children.
saying.
Yo, God,
That's
yo,
what you're
what
trying
the?
to say.
You
And
being
that's why I'm
childish. I
Hey,
trying to
get it.
tell
I
you
get
not
it.
to say
hey, this man
anymore.
crazy. Crazy.
See, see,
Look,
you
I
see,
just
you see
want
how you
everybody to
responded?
know this is an open panel. Anybody can get it. I'm not coming for nobody, but I'm coming for everybody.
Everybody,
Going for your blood
it's
pressure.
fine. No, there's a friendly fire turned on. I get it. Um, but I think the issue is that we mischaracterize people and say that their weakness is actually identified with the opposite gender. So, as a woman, if I'm not able to check my aggression and I'm immature and can't check my aggression in the moment to not put everyone in the space in danger, I'm being masculine. No, I'm being a child. If a man does not know how to check his inefficiency in handling situation, he's not being a woman, he's being a child. And that's where we are continuously insulting the other gender, and it's not okay.
I don't know about that, but I see where you're going though.
Reggie, we not gonna agree, and I knew it from the time you open your mouth, so I'm not even gonna worry about you.
That's why I said I gave you half of it. I'm like, okay, I hear what you're trying to say. I get you.
I'm not gonna call a man feminine because he's doing something that I think deem is immature. Because as a woman who is
So,
feminine, I look at my feminine traits as virtues. I look at masculine traits as virtues. I can
so
embody both of them. Hold
I
on,
can
hold
give
on.
you.
I've been
I'm
listening,
sorry.
Reggie. I've been listening.
I'm sorry.
I've been listening more than you.
Respect.
Listen. My ex was able to build the furniture in the house because I know how to use a table router. Does that mean that I'm being masculine? No. This was his project. He wanted to do it. Cool. All
You
right, let's
masculine
do
as
it.
hell.
Right,
You need
right.
to. You need
Let's do it.
put down that table router and pick up a pot and pan, man. No,
Oh
I'm
wow.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. He could pick up a pot. He used to pick up a pot and pan too. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, your balanced abilities does not mean that it's a shortcoming. It's an asset. It's an attribute. It actually helps you vet better because you're balanced in your feminine and masculine. You know what virtues are, and you reflect them out to the world. Because I have a masculine quote quote ability that is in check, I don't look at that expression as what those childish behaviors are. And we keep insulting each other by saying, well, if you're being a child and being over aggressive, you're masculine or overly masculine. That means you're actually insulting masculinity and saying that men don't know how to check their aggression. As a man, right? If I look at you and go, well, you're being feminine because you don't know how to handle the situation and actually take responsibility or accountability, where we're going to get to Philly, accountability for the fact that this is happening, then you're being feminine. I'm a woman. I'm the woman. Why would I call your childish thing something that I'm already exhibiting femininity? We have to stop doing that. That's the problem because we're insulting ourselves.
So
You are insulting yourself as a man when you tell me I'm acting like a man because I have unchecked aggression. Because that means you as a man don't know how to check your aggression. I'm insulting myself as a woman if I say that when you are unable to fix a problem, you're being feminine. Because that means that I'm saying that as a woman, I'm unable to fix a problem.
So this is why I disagree
You
with
better
you,
stop
Alicia.
now.
So Alicia, this
Oh,
why
I was just finishing your sentence. I was just finishing your sentence.
so, Alicia, this why I disagree with you, right?
It's
Because
okay.
I feel this is my personal belief. This ain't got nothing to do with any stats or anything like that.
It's all right.
I think that men and women both hold both traits of masculinity and femininity,
Right.
and we only let out a percentage of it, right? And some women tend to let out more percentage of being masculine, and some men let out more percentage of being feminine. And I think we just alter between the two. And some people just don't know how to turn off being more feminine, more masculine.
But
So I
that's
think
your
we.
imbalance and immaturity to balance it. Not yours per se, but whoever
I
is
know what you
doing
mean.
that. Not you. I'm
So let
not
me give you
saying
an
you.
example.
I'm
Let me
saying
give you an example
if
what
you're
I think
not
is a
able to
feminine.
balance it, it's immaturity.
Let me give you an example of what I think is a feminine male trait, characteristic, whatever you want to
Sure.
say. a guy who decides to be a stay-at-home dad versus go out to work. That's a feminine trait.
It's a smart man.
It could be a smart.
Philly,
Philly.
why you want to
I
take up
didn't
my
call him a
troublemaker
dumb man.
mantle,
Hold on,
Philly?
listen real quick. Listen real quick. I never said nothing about that was wrong, but that's still a feminine trait, right? Like
Why?
baking is a feminine trait, but there's men out here who bake cakes and all.
Excuse
Right?
me.
I'm just
So
telling you the truth.
so you
These
say
are,
I shouldn't respect a
if you
man
look
who's
up
very
the
good at wearing children?
characteristic of feminine, bacon is gonna be on there. I just looked it up. That's why I had came up with this what I'm saying.
Bacon,
Oh,
bro.
no,
Let's stay away from bacon,
Very
man.
noble.
I left all this here to come back with facts. I left
Who
all
made
to come
these
back with some
cookies?
facts, right? So I'm trying to see. I'm like, when I'm looking at the characteristics of a feminine person, right? I'm like, well, men do that. Like, so we all gotta hold it. Women sometimes step into leadership roles, and they say that's a masculinity thing. So we all step into that sometimes. It's about how much percentage you go use. Do you know how to tone it down when you with your spouse? You could be masculine when you out at work, when you got to be in command of things, but when you come home, you gonna be masculine with your man. No, you got
No,
to turn that
I don't even
percentage
talk.
down.
Anyone I've ever dated, I don't talk to them the way I talk to the rest of the world.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So you hold the
But
percentage of
that's
both, and we
feminine.
all.
Hold on. That's not something that should be relegated to being feminine. I wouldn't expect my man to talk to me the way he talks to the rest of the world either. You're my person. I'm your person. That's something that's intimate. That's between us. That's
Oh
love.
no,
That's
I
maturity.
didn't say talk or aggressive or more. I say demanding when she's talking to other people, but when she's talking to me, she's more submissive. So that means that she can be masculine outside of the household. She chooses to tone it down when she come in the household, and that's the same thing I think men do. Like when we get on here, when men get on talking to other people, but when she's outside of the house, we got to argue with tone it down. When she come, we're turning on our feminine side. Yes, I didn't hear you say it again. I'm sorry.
No, he ain't deceived.
You was breaking up. Say it again. I'm sorry. Nah, sorry, I don't know if I'm breaking up or he breaking up.
I think he
Okay,
froze.
cool.
They froze.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
we all
okay.
hold a percentage of both, and we just got to tone it down depending on the situation.
I really
And
want
I don't
Tyler
think you
this
listen
whole.
to the other Reggie.
He's
It's
a
okay. I
team
love you. No matter.
Wi-Fi. I really want to comment because I don't know, man. For me personally, I don't get caught up in this whole femininity,
So, brother, I love
masculinity
you.
stuff. Like, I think that it's an absolute waste of time. I think that you should take people as they are, and find someone who complements the kind of traits that you have, and just let it be, man. This idea that like a man's feminine because he bakes more than somebody else. Like, and I know you said that, Reggie, but I'm just saying, like, just it's just one of those things that's just like it just don't make no sense, right? Like people are saying that men are feminine because they take care of their kids well. Like, it's just like, what are you talking about? Like, what do we even like? Men shouldn't know how to take care of their own kids. Like, that's feminine now. Like,
So I
it's
think
just
Philly,
dumb,
when they
man. A
got
lot of this stuff is just dumb, dude.
when
I
they
was
say
gonna
that
say,
Philly, because I looked up the word too, because I think I was almost on that because it say nurturing is a feminine trait. So if you're
Yeah.
nurturing, that's a characteristic of being feminine. So if a man is taking care of his kids real good, that means nurturing. They
But
kind
no,
of
not even just the kids though, Reggie. The relationship, because you nurture a relationship as well. Everything gets nurtured, bro.
That's
you know what
why
I'm saying?
that's
So like,
nurturing.
it's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, that's
And,
why.
and,
that's
and
a
here's the thing. All of that, I'll land right here, real quick.
no.
All of these things are all based off of your surroundings, right? Because if you go to China right now, the quote unquote man is different than the quote unquote for where you're at.
I wanted to say
You
and
see
wanted
that
to add
talking.
that culinary arts school. I put it in the comments, but culinary arts schools and all these like master chocolatiers and all that stuff. Those are usually men. right? Those are men. And if men are doing those things, then I'm going to respect that man as a man, not because.
Most head chefs are men too.
Right. Like, what do you,
Yeah,
you
most.
say that to Gordon Ramsay? Tell him he's not a man, right?
I just said that every
He
man
will
holds
cuss you
feminine
out.
traits. That's not being disrespectful, right?
No.
Just because you hold feminine traits, it's not a disrespect thing. You just step into some feminine things. That's all.
Feminine isn't what you
But
do, it's how you
here's
do
the
it.
thing, though,
Femininity
Reggie.
is an energy. It's all about
Yeah,
energy.
Reggie. But here's the thing.
Nothing
How
to do
can
with the
how
task
can
at
a
hand.
So it's,
yeah,
it's
Reggie? How
defined as
can
a
a how can a
characteristic and a trait.
Reggie? Here's my question to you though.
Correct.
Reggie, cooking be a so that means
Right.
it's a masculine thing then. Doesn't even make any sense.
Make it make
Like,
No,
women
because
cook
I can make it
domestically.
make sense. I can make it make sense because men love money and they see that that's how to make money, right? So
Or
just
maybe that's
because
their craft and their art
I
form,
know
and they
that's their
enjoy
craft, that
it.
don't make it not feminine though, right? So they made these words for a reason. We didn't make these words. These words is in a dictionary. So they said
Well,
cooking
we
is a
made all
feminine.
words, Reggie. What are you
They
talking
said
about?
cooking is a feminine trait and
Who's
characteristic.
they,
I didn't
Reggie?
create.
Who
yeah,
made
yeah.
that
Who's
rule that
that?
cooking was for
Who
men?
is
I didn't
they?
say
For
that. That's
women.
what they said.
Who said it?
So I'm gonna say for me,
When you
for
when
me.
you when you
Hold
look
on,
up the
hold on,
word, when
hold
you
on,
hold
hold
on, when
on.
you
For
go on
me,
Google, right, and you say, "Hey, Google, give me the characteristic traits of femininity," that's cooking is gonna pop
Throughout
up.
history or just right now?
What
Because
difference would it make?
roles,
I don't.
The
because
definition
men
on
have always
Google
been in the roles of cooking until recently. In like the 50s, 60s, men were always chefs. Men were always the
They
ones
still
that cooked.
chefs.
Men,
What you mean
they
to
still
recently?
are. I'm just
It's
saying
more
it's
chefs now
never
than before.
changed. Women
meaning
have
that
That's what I'm
all
always
saying. So I don't
female
released and
understand why.
stepped into
dominated.
the kitchen.
Yeah, that's
It's
why
not
I don't
about the
understand why
task
I
you
had to
do, it's
extra
about
stuff
the
on it.
energy behind the task, whether it's masculine or feminine. It's going to be how you
No,
handle the
I love.
task,
It's not
not
the
the task
energy, right?
itself.
They won't define it as traits and characteristics if it was about energy.
No.
Bro,
Hold
What?
on.
bro. I think we need to stop talking to Reggie and just go and talk to whatever he's reading.
We go Google
That
it.
that is fair.
No, I
He is
kind
just
of
a
agree.
messenger.
I agree with Lala on this. Like, that's the example I gave, and I stand on it. It's like the two different guys couldn't do the same task, but how they responded and treated their woman in the process was the result of the feminine versus the masculine energy. And it could be the same with lifting heavy
That's
things.
leadership.
Like I remember like when I had moved
I
into
personally
my
think you're
house.
describing leadership.
Let me just don't cut me off, Reggie. I'm really respectful. So when I moved into my home,
Oh no, I was
I
breaking up.
needed
My bad. I didn't know you was
my
talking.
God, huh? What did you
Let her
say?
cook. Let her cook. Finish what
Okay.
you're saying.
No,
I
my
was on
bar is going
mute.
in and out.
I go
Sometimes I
on
don't be
mute
hearing you
so
talk.
that way
My apologies.
anything I say, I just go on mute when others are talking.
No, finish
So
what you're saying.
No, I can't hear you talk because my bars is low. So sometimes I don't be hearing you talk. My apologies.
okay. So when I moved into my home, we needed extra help on like lifting things. So my guy he has three brothers, and they came over. One of those brothers, he's the only one that like isn't married, and he has, in my opinion, he has some feminine energy. He looks real strong and buff and masculine, but he has a lot of feminine energy. So he was the main one that was complaining the whole time, like, man, this stuff heavy. Man, y'all need to pay somebody. Man, this is crazy. This is nuts. And then my guy, who's like way skinnier, like doesn't have any muscles, like this, like his brother, was just doing it. Like, and his brother just was making all these excuses, and we ended up having to like pay him, and all the other ones didn't even ask us for money. So I feel like that was a feminine trait. Like, why couldn't you just like do what your brother was asking
You're
without so much of the complaint and so much you're just lazy. You didn't want to do what he wanted to do was the things like put up the towels. He was like, oh, I could just put this up in the bathroom. I could make this look real cool. I could put up your curtains. We were like, well, I could put up the curtains, when you guys, we need the harder things done, like by the men. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why is he trying to tackle all of this little picking up the pots and pans and put them inside the cabinet? Like, I
so
could do that.
I think you just proved my point, right?
I'm not trying to prove a point.
I know you ain't trying to prove a point. That ain't what I said. Listen,
And I'm not talking directly to you. I'm talking
I
to the
never
whole
said you. I
panel.
never said you talking directly to me either, love. I never said that. I just said what you said kind of proved my point, right?
Laziness, when it comes to strength, is a feminine trait. The average man can't even do 100
That is
push-ups.
not
The average man
La-
cannot even do 100 push-ups.
No,
That's
laziness
unacceptable.
when it
That's
comes to
immaturity.
How can
strength
y'all
is a
how can y'all
feminine
protect the
trait.
woman? How
What?
can you
But
protect the
that's what I'm trying
woman?
to say. That
How
was
can
what I
you
was trying to say.
Laziness
how can you
when
protect any
in
woman if you're not physically fit enough? If you cannot lift a chair, how can you potentially protect your woman if you can't even lift heavy items? That's
that
what I'm
that
saying.
ain't got nothing to do with
I hear
masculinity,
you.
though.
I hear what you're saying, but what I
one
was
thing
saying
in masculinity.
previously was
That
saying
have
that
nothing to do with
the
masculinity.
You
shortcoming
love me
of
to
the man,
switch.
the it's the implication of immaturity, and that's what I was saying. Because he's lazy, he wasn't adult enough to say, "Listen, I only came to do the light work. If you want to have the heavy lifting, you need to hire somebody." If he's not an adult enough to explain those boundaries to you, he's being a child, not a woman. Because me as a woman will tell you, "Hey, I'm coming to do the towels and stuff. I'm not lifting that box." But that is not. That is me being an adult,
Yeah, that's
and we
Hey,
childish.
keep.
y'all know what characteristic is under feminine, and we're talking about it right now.
If you quote Google, I swear to God.
This all these things are subjective, man. We need to stop
Yeah.
going. It's all subjective. Like the kind of stuff that Bundle just said was, oh, because this man came over here to do free work, you're gonna tell him what to do. No, if I'm doing something for you for free, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. That's not how that works. You
It
know what I'm saying?
wasn't
And now
necessarily
he's feminine.
free
Now he's
because
feminine
when he needed
because
to
no,
get out of
Bundle, hold on,
jail,
hold on, Bundle, let
okay,
me
And
no, no,
that's
no,
finish.
why
no,
men
no,
get
no.
Bundle, let
Let
me
me
upset
finish.
let me
Let me
sometimes.
finish what I'm
let
saying.
me answer this
Bundle, I
information.
know,
There's no
Bundle, you
way.
don't need to add anything.
No,
Just let me
I
finish. Just let
do.
me,
I
Bundle, just let me
paid
finish. Let
$2,500
me,
for him to get out of
Jesus
jail.
Christ.
$2,500.
That's
So
great.
if
I'm
and I
I'm
didn't
with
ask
you.
for it back or nothing. So we
That's
wanted him
dope.
to come over one day. We moved in.
That's dope.
It took us 2 years to remodel our home. We asked him for one day.
Yo,
If we're a
you're a better
family,
person than he
if we're
is,
trying to
Bundle.
be a
That doesn't make him
family,
feminine.
if we're
No,
supposed to
Bundle,
be a family,
Bundle. You being a
you
better
should have
person
got
than
his
him doesn't
black
make.
ass over here and help me pick up help my
That's the
man
problem.
pick up the
Like,
couch.
What I'm
So I
saying
wanted
is
I
hold
wanted to
on,
It's
say
hold on,
this.
hold on.
unacceptable. I don't even want to hear it. If
look,
you
hold
see a
on. Can I land
woman,
my
do you
plane,
know how
folks?
So
many
Can I
men?
land my plane?
No. Do you
can I
know
say
how many
something real
men
quick?
at the
All right.
grocery store? Do you know how many men at the grocery store I see not letting an older woman in front of them in line when they got less items? Or
That's
That ain't got nothing to
immaturity.
do with masculinity,
holding the
though.
door
Immaturity.
open
Right. Right.
open all the
Nothing to do
way.
with
Wait,
That's
hold
being
masculinity.
on. I'm from
mature, not being
Chicago,
a
so it's
female.
really cold here. Instead of holding the door open all the way and letting the woman walk in first, these men are holding the door open and going inside and then holding it open with their hand, but they're still inside.
That's childish.
No,
That's
okay, you can call
childish
it
That have
childish.
zero to do with
You
masculinity.
know
because
what?
you're
I want the men on this
demasculating.
panel to tell us what feminine energy is. Since y'all, every example we come up with is now called a different word. We're gonna say childish instead of feminine
I
energy.
can,
But
I was
what I'm
trying to
saying
tell
is,
y'all, but y'all cut me off with all
what
this
I'm
goofy
saying
stuff.
is that it's
Listen, right?
demasculinating to
Go right
say
ahead.
to a man who's being a child that now you're a woman, right? Now that's the issue. A child being a child is being a child. I'm still gonna respect that person if he said, "Yo, I don't want to do that thing." Now, if you came back to him and said, "Hey, I did all this stuff for you, and because you cannot return this, you lack this virtue. You're not a person that I want to help." If you both laid it on the line, then both of you are being adults. If you feel a way about it and they feel a way about it, you have to speak about it. That is
Yeah.
being mature.
If
Don't
they
say
don't
that he's being
appreciate
a
your
woman.
effort, yeah.
Yeah, being a
You know,
woman.
and
As a
what's
woman,
Can
I'm
I
gonna
say
tell you
something
that.
real quick? Okay, so I saw this prompt the other day and it was like, why do modern relationships not last as long as older? It's because everybody is looking for a finished product and nobody wants to build together. And I heard that and I was like, that's facts.
That's not fact because men are not looking for finished product.
It is
Yeah,
though.
no, I don't
No,
believe
Men are
that.
that's
not.
what I'm saying. Nobody wants a finished product, but people don't want to build together. And if you're
No,
not willing to
I'll
build
So,
take a
Shell Bill, if
broken
together,
we're
bottles.
already built, why would we need to be built together, right? So,
But
men,
how are you already built?
because
yeah,
I'm.
with your
I can
woman,
ask.
that
No,
makes no sense.
I'm finna answer
Reggie,
that
you
I'll
question.
take
don't
a
listen to
broken
nobody
McDonald's
because
Can I
you're
wood.
answer
not
that
built.
question?
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
care.
Wait,
Real
she
quick,
asked
let
the
me just
question.
say
Can I
I've been with
answer it?
my husband for
Reggie
almost
love,
19 years,
Can I
and
answer the
we've built
question or no?
together. Yeah, okay, go. I'm
Hold
shut
on, before you go, Reggie Love, you don't listen to nobody. You are not fully built, babies. You're
What?
close. You're close.
Yeah,
Wait,
you don't even
I'm
listen.
a
You
so
don't
I'm gonna
love.
shut
I'm,
up.
enough.
I'm gonna
so
shut
listen.
up.
I'm a leader. I don't have to listen to people I don't
I'm
need to
just, I'm just saying.
listen.
I
Love.
know.
I don't have to listen to
You
follow.
guys, we've been
That's
really
not how
good
that
about
works.
being
That's not how
so
that
close
works,
to
man.
home.
You're
These women are saying
You're
build, but
very
none of
That's
them
not
are
how
dating
that works, baby.
McDonald's
But
workers.
listen, right? This is why I
you
said
you
what I
can
said.
you can make your point without being rude and ignorant like
And rude.
And I would continue my point, but people are trying to interject, so it's fine.
I'm
You
muted
tell
and
me
about to
what you
go
think.
ahead, Shell. So before you do finish, the one rule is if you get muted and I start talking, do not unmute until after I finish. And if you get muted because someone else is about to say something, let them get to somewhere in their point before you jump in. But it is an open panel. It's still an open discussion. It's every now and then gotta simmer down.
Yeah,
Finish,
thank
Shell.
you. No, I appreciate that. Like, I love panels like that where you can say what you want, but like, you have to respect everybody else on the panel. So I've been with my man for what, almost 19 years now. He was not a six-figure income man when I met him, and I wasn't. We both have started from the bottom, and I helped him build. We've been together for almost 2 decades now, and now he is at the point where he can pay all the bills, do all this, and I take care of all the home stuff, and it works out great for us. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if he fell on hard times tomorrow, I would go and get my job back tomorrow if I needed to. I'm not a gold digger. I don't need him to take care of me. I want to take care of him too. He takes care of me because that's where we are at this point in our life. But it's taken a lot of decades to get here. You know what I mean?
Quick question. Was there a trajectory of success on the horizon for him? Like, could you see a return on investment coming
No,
with
not at
him?
all. We both were working
So
fast
wait. So
food.
he was totally a loser,
Oh yeah.
no plan at all, and you're like, it's okay. I like your personality.
But at the same time though, we were young. I've been with him since I was 14. He was 16. So of course we were working our minimum wage jobs together. So it's a different situation than people who are grown and set in their ways. And I don't blame any of y'all because like when you're grown and you're making your own money, you're set in your ways. You don't want to take a step back for somebody who's not at your level. You know what I mean?
Wait a sec. No, I would date a McDonald's loser. Every man on this panel would
I
date a
mean, I
McDonald's
did.
loser.
Whoa! Don't say every man,
Wait.
sir. I
You
am
just
not
said
dating no
on your
crackhead.
level.
That
Only
majority of
women
men.
think that way.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
McDonald's worker.
Men will date down any day. Women don't. So we
We went to good times, so it's basically the same as
Well,
the
just means like it's a code for return on investment.
Bingo.
Ambition is also a code for return on investment, meaning money.
Because established men
Yes.
don't usually go after established women. I'm sorry. That's just not how they work.
My whole thing is that people do
disagree,
not want
'cause
to work
I
with
was
their
just
partner.
telling you.
They want a finished product. And if you want a finished product, it's not going to work. You have to be willing to work with your partner. And guess what? If they fall on hard times, you got to pick up the slack. And if you fall on hard times, they got to pick up the
But
slack.
you keep saying they want a finished product. Only women want a finished product. Want
Yo.
some sex goddess? What the fuck? Would you take
Bingo.
human bodies to get
I
to
want a
that
finished
level?
product.
Or some
I
woman
want a finished
who's
product.
making all her own money. You don't
Hilly,
want
you're an
that.
exception to the rule, brother.
No, yeah,
I
exactly.
think both people. I
Everybody want a
think
finished product.
Why are we McDonald's shame?
Wando, you got it, Wando.
that both sexes want a finished product to a certain extent, depending on the age that they are. So,
No,
like,
she
if
just
you
has
are
to be hot to
20,
Exactly
men.
the
if
age.
you are 20 years old, okay. When I
Let her
was 20,
finish.
Different than 30.
Let her
when
finish.
I was 20
Shell, let her
years,
finish.
oh, okay, please. I had my bachelor's degree at like 21. So I knew I wasn't gonna find nobody my age that also had that same like degree. So I didn't care about that. I cared about personality. I've always been a personality girl. I didn't care about looks. I didn't care about smecks. I cared about if you love the Lord and if you had a great, fantastic personality and can
Connection.
make my stomach hurt. My stomach need to hurt, fam.
Yeah.
So now I'm 30. Okay. Big difference.
Yep.
Okay. But I was 25. So he made me laugh.
Okay, he did not have a job. I don't know if the other people was on the panel when they heard that I was making 6 figures. I'm a hairstylist. Okay, so I was like, okay, the whole degree thing ain't really my thing, so I'm gonna be an
Was he the
entrepreneur.
stay-at-home dad or no?
No, he was a well, I guess you can kind of say that because he had a son and he took care of his son full time. His son lived with him, went to school with him. He did his homework every day. I'm like, dang, you know how to do homework?
He took
You
care of
know
his
how
son
to.
without a job.
Yeah, he didn't have he did not, but he was working for himself. Like he was he had his own like way to make money. He wasn't selling no drugs. He wasn't
So
doing
he had
nothing
income.
illegal.
I mean, I
But
think
was
you
he
dating a
taking care
bum.
of you
The way you just
emotionally and
described him, like he was a
He took
bum.
care of me emotionally to the T. To the
Good.
T. I mean, I am so healed. This man needs to be a therapist. Okay, he needs to get
Okay.
paid for what he done healed up inside of my soul. And he brought me closer to the Lord. And he helped me learn how to love deep and how to just open up and just like I don't even know how to explain. Like being with him is like the best thing that ever happened to me outside of having a kid and learning the freedom of financial freedom. Like literally, it's top tier to have an intelligent man.
Because
You know
people
what I'm
who
saying?
don't
Congrats on
comprehend
your
don't
happiness.
know what
Can I
it's
ask you
like
a
to have
question?
a parent, have a partner who supports you through and
Yeah,
through. They don't
they
understand,
don't
and
get
I
like
feel
the
bad for
value.
them.
Can I ask you a question,
But
Bundle?
it's
And
great.
he came from a 2-parent household like me. So I feel like that really helped shape us both. And I feel like that's what kept us going. And we both had kids the same age. So I really think that all worked out.
Good for
Why you?
you, girl.
Why
You
did you
found your
share?
person.
Why did you share that he didn't have a job? But
She found her
but you
person.
didn't share that
Because
he.
he kept saying like women
Allow
want
me to finish
finished
the question.
products. And I'm telling you that even when I met him, he was nowhere near finished and he's still not finished. You know what I'm saying? Like what a woman necessarily would desire is a full provider. You know what I'm saying? Something or more. But I
That's
realized
what I would
So
argue,
Bundle,
though.
but I
But that's
realized
not how men do it.
exactly. Let me. Can I
They,
say
they don't
something?
no,
have
but he
that
valued
Well,
what
threshold
she
hey,
for
say
more.
say some men, bro. Some men. Some men.
Yeah, some men. When we say
But she
men, we're speaking
realized,
majority, not
bruh,
all.
let her finish what she was literally mid
Not all,
sentence.
not
right.
all, not all,
So
but
what
most.
I'm saying is what I realized is that if all the money went away, every amount of money I made is just gone. The house is burned down. The business is gone. Will I still want this man? Will I still want to have a child? And the answer is yes. But the men that I used to date that had a lot of money, if all that was taken away, I would not have wanted them in.
Oh,
I would
because
not have
you
stayed with
wouldn't
them
trust
in.
them, right?
They were not. Their character was different. It was just so different. Like the way you are raised, in addition to how you act once you got all of the tools in your life, is everything. A man who has nothing and shows you everything is more valuable than the man that has everything and shows you nothing.
And they validate your value on what you can bring to the table and not on
Yeah, he
how you
never
make
asked
them
me what
feel.
he would brag about me to his friends. Now none of
Mm-hmm.
his friends, he don't even have none of his friends. All them
Yep.
friends, all them friends is gone. They hate on him to a T, okay? Because they say, "Oh, you with your girl, you think y'all the stuff. Y'all act like y'all better than other people. How we acting like we better than other people?
And you
Like
know what? If we're going to
what?
bed every single night, cuddling up and having a good ass time together, you're a hater. Like, I'm sorry, you
They
want what?
are. And they would call me ugly and like just be so mean. Like, bro, you stupid. Like, she the one with the money. She could just leave you. Like, I'm like, you don't know how he's helping me make money.
And
How
I'm
like
sorry, but you need a woman with a backbone to hold you accountable if you're a man. I don't care who you
yeah.
are.
Hey, shout out to Reggie, man. Reggie's not. Shout out to Reggie. He's not. He left. I just want to say that real quick.
Shout out to Reggie.
I'm gonna say this.
Shout out to
With
Reggie,
everything
y'all.
you all here to shame, you're an anomaly.
Who?
Yeah, that is a good.
Yeah, that advice doesn't work for most people, I'd
Who's
say.
an anomaly?
You.
How? We got chefs and shit? No, I'm just saying.
I don't
I
know.
ain't got
I've
no
been with
chefs.
my husband for almost 19 years.
broke man.
We've been together since I was
Right.
14.
Hey, I'm not
No,
even gonna
Shell Bill
say
did
it.
too. Shell
Everybody
Bill
else
did
can
too.
say it too.
I agree.
But I
But
helped him build to what we are
he
today.
said she helped him build. They built together.
But I would, if he got
No, we built
sick or
together
something
too.
tomorrow,
Like
I would go back to work.
my
I would,
business would not be where it's at without my man. Like
yeah,
he gave me ideas. He actually thought of the name.
Look,
and
He
I
thought
would
of
go
the
back to
name.
work tomorrow if
There's
he
nothing
needed it.
wrong with being an anomaly. Two, you said you were self-employed and doing well for yourself, and he had no job. Okay, just take those two things and set everything else aside.
You one of a
You are
kind.
now an anomaly for the fact that you decided to take him seriously.
But that was when I was 25. So that's why, to finish my statement, I would not, if me and him don't work out, well, we gonna work out, period, because that's my fiance. But like, hypothetically speaking, like if something happened to him, if anything happened, if at this age, I would not do that. Hell to the
But
no.
real quick though, okay, if he got sick,
Absolutely to the fuck no.
if he got sick, would you take care of most of the bills? Because I know I would. In a
Yeah.
That's like putting a bond on the man, though. Like after a certain amount of time, you're over it.
No,
What you
we
mean?
both worked to get to where we are. I worked full time, and then he was the main breadwinner. He's making six figures. But if he got sick tomorrow, I would go back to work in a second.
I actually don't think it's even so much about the like being on the same level or wanting to build. And I don't even blame women for wanting like dudes with a job, right? I actually think it's so simple. It's just because women have always wanted dudes with some bit of money or something, right? Since the beginning of time. So I think the reason things are destroyed more so is because the women are not virgins. Yes, it's a sensitive topic, but it's the only difference in the last 20 years. That's the
Besides
only
women
like,
getting
independent
educated, right?
variable.
Let me
What
tell
about
you real quick.
education? Did that?
It doesn't
Hold
matter
hold
if they're
Shell,
virgin.
Shell, hold on one
I mean,
second. Hold on 1 second.
I would say
Shell,
feminism
1 second.
overall, but that's the epitome of
Hey,
feminism.
did women not start getting the ability to get education? Was that not a change?
Well, they've been educated for at least a couple hundred years, at least.
What are you talking about, sir?
They had,
My grandma, she
What are
didn't
you
go to
talking about?
college.
they had
What?
debates in the
That's not true,
1800s.
sir.
That's
That
not
is
true at
factually
all.
incorrect.
Hundreds
Not
of
to mention,
years.
hey, and
The first
did
seniors
did women not get the ability to have a bank account in the 70s?
Yeah.
Well,
Did that not happen? Is that
in
not
the
something that changed?
1800s, they didn't want bank accounts. It was like 98% of them voted for no voting, no bank accounts, nothing, because they didn't want to be
We
involved in
wasn't able
that
to vote.
politics,
In the
dirty finance.
1800s,
They
dude,
didn't
I
want to
said
be
the
involved in it.
1970s. 1970s.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
gotta
but
step in.
Traditional
I'm
marriages
saying it took
Listen,
100
compared
years
to
of
how
propaganda
modern
Right.
to
What
marriages
does
are,
get
this
us to
have
though.
to
that.
do with his main point, though? Like, I don't understand how, like, disproving any of this, or like, I don't understand how this relates to what he was just saying. The first thing he said is virginity. Like,
Yeah, because
we're
Well,
talking
what, no,
about
what, what he
women's
said,
bank
what
accounts.
he said,
dudes will work
yeah.
50
Let me tell you
years.
how. Oh, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Okay,
I was
I
trying to
think it's
explain.
so simple. And here's the thing: dudes can't tell women this because they're always going to say insecure and all these new buzzwords. Dudes will work 50 years, but not if you fucking 20 fucking people. Are you fucking kidding me?
Hold
Yeah.
on.
So,
Wait,
Say
wait.
this.
What
I'm
do you mean?
gonna,
Say it
wait, hold on
again.
1 second.
Like they'll
Let
step
me
up,
respond
but
to
they're
the.
going to feel
tell
like
y'all
Let me
they're cool
respond to
something.
the
if
host
you've
real quick.
been
Wait,
having.
How
explain
do
it.
Wait a
you
Explain it
minute.
know?
again.
Let him
How do
finish.
you know if a woman has had sex with more men? You know how y'all know? Because of
By
social
her
media.
confidence around the men.
Okay, right. By her
Okay,
The
self
what?
so
confidence. Okay,
real
whatever. That's
quick,
it.
Wait,
That's
no,
my
what was
it.
his
husband was
answer?
my
If
No,
she's
what,
comfortable
sex
around
second
random men,
ever.
then it tells she's done some
Okay,
shit.
if
whatever. What
she's
I'm
comfortable, maybe
saying
she was
is,
just confident.
yeah, I was confident at 2. They used to call me
But
fast
where do
in
you get
church.
that confidence
They
from?
called
From
they
Maybe
talking to
called
because
me.
I'm a
I'm
people?
gonna tell
confident
you something.
person.
I'm gonna tell you something. They used to call me fast. They said, "Why she walking like that up to the altar?" I was like 6 years old, walking like a model, like Naomi Campbell. Like, you could not tell me nothing. But you know where I got the confidence from? I'm a dark skinned black girl, and they was talking about me, saying I was ugly. And my mama told me every day to look in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful. So my confidence came from just believing in myself, and it's taken me to right now at this
And
age.
from how you were raised,
Wait,
right,
And
But
from
but
wait,
baby?
I'm
how I
hold
just
was
on.
talking about
raised.
in
I was
general.
raised
How
on
you were
love.
raised.
So that don't have nothing to do with like your
And
sexuality
yeah,
and stuff like that.
no.
Then I'm
That's
gonna bring
just
in
you
one
though.
other
That's your
topic.
story.
I'm gonna bring
But
in one.
people used
Okay,
to talk
great.
shit to me too, and my husband is my second boyfriend ever. I've never been with more than him, and people still like to talk shit, but I've been with him for 19 years, so
So if a
Here's my
woman
But
question.
ladies,
Here's
it
my
was
question.
I mean, I
basic.
guess you guys are unique,
Listen.
but I
I
think
have a
in
question for
general, that's
everybody.
how it goes.
Listen. I have a question for everybody who hopped in, giving us their stories about how what he said does not lead into promiscuity. Are you guys worried that we're thinking you're promiscuous? Because we're not asking about you guys. Like, what?
Yeah, I was saying in
Why are you
general.
defending anything?
I think I worry more about my daughter's perception to the outside world, knowing she's not like me exactly, but she holds her head on her shoulders. but I just don't want people to judge her. You know what I mean?
One thing I'm
What
gonna
I
about
was
say
just
is
saying,
to take
I
away
was
this.
the reason why I defended it is because like he's not wrong. What he's trying to say is like, if y'all want this like top man, a real masculine man, you know, that's gonna provide and all this stuff, he wants that. He still wants you to be his. Like he don't want you to be used up, and you know, this is where the whole you coming with
No,
kids.
but every
Men
guy
don't want
wants
women
that.
with kids and stuff.
Not just high value, so called. Every guy.
Yeah,
No, they
right.
don't.
You're right. So he's not.
Like, did you guys know that?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong for saying that. I was just explaining that sometimes you don't know how, like with a woman, you don't really know her sexual history. Like some women was great or like younger. Like so, would you want a woman that had a regular in love sex with men, or would you want a woman that's been abused her like for her whole childhood or something?
Neither. What the fuck?
Right, but how would you know?
Because there's a certain men could just sense it.
No,
Right, so
unless you're told a similar.
I'm gonna put it to you
Oh,
like
Lord.
this.
Listen. You literally just asked homie a question, and as he said one sentence, 3 people hopped in to answer. You asked the question. Let him answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of simple. Men can sense it. Most women that have not been around are going to be probably overly polite. They're like, oh, I've never, like, they're going to have some sense of decorum. Confident women, it signals, because most men are bigger than women on average too. What the hell are you confident around men for? Like, because all women say they're scared of men, but then they're confident around men. What the fuck?
Not all women.
Men are not bigger. Like if you look at the stats, women are weighing like 15 pounds more than the average man.
I got my concealed carry.
Women is all.
I don't know if that's healthy though.
The average woman is like above like 15 pounds over the average. Like the average man is like 175.
All right, so Bundle, are you comfortable around men? Are you more physically comfortable around men because you're bigger than them? 3 men in the room is fine because you got 15 pounds on them. You could beat them all up.
No.
All right, then let him cook. What are you talking
Like,
about?
yeah.
Why you
But I'm saying there's no
I'm
in
relationships.
Can I answer the question though, please?
I was talking about in relationships, like some women are not always.
And then you're missing his point directly. So here, look, just since nobody can hear homie down here, let me talk real quick.
All right, let him break it down.
What he is saying is that as a man, you can tell sometimes and have it's an assumption that by the way someone carries themselves in a setting, they're comfortable and confident, and comfortability and confidence comes from familiarity. So you being a woman who is fully confident and comfortable in this group of male strangers lets me know you're used to being in this situation. Regardless of whether you got bodies or not, you way too comfortable in the other sex's face for me.
I agree with you.
I agree. Why are you arguing with this man?
Can I
I'm not
answer?
arguing,
Can
just don't
I
agree.
answer?
I'm just saying I got my
Hold
concealed
on,
carry.
y'all.
I don't care what y'all saying. I don't agree.
All right, y'all just talk too much.
Go
shit.
ahead,
You let me
Alicia,
go.
girl.
So, what he said is, why are you so confident, right? So essentially, he's attaching confidence to promiscuity, and that's
No,
the
he is
issue.
attaching confidence in a certain circumstance to promiscuity.
Now, what happens when you're a woman that works in male-dominated industries?
And that's something for you to regulate within yourself. You feel me?
Right.
Because as a man, I'm still reading the signs how I'm going to read the signs.
A better way to frame it would be if a woman is comfortable being excessively flirtatious in a space.
You don't just have to be flirting though, because as a man, what you deem as flirtatious as a woman is going to be different.
Right, but it's still the standard of flirtation. If you're saying
Look,
that
I just want my girl to be scared as fuck of every man. What could the argument be?
You're stupid.
But Alicia, real quick, shouldn't women feel?
This is why.
You see what you did, host?
It's like, oh,
Favorite. You see what you let yourself
and I'm
in,
really
favorite?
good at arguing.
You see what
and
you
I like
let
to
let him get you
socialize.
into?
Like, I don't care about that.
You see that? You
That's
see,
control.
you had
That's
his back.
control.
I didn't say
No, I don't
You,
think he's
you
wrong
had
in
his
that
back,
sense.
favorite.
I get what he's saying, and I get what he wants, and I think he deserved that. I think that every man deserves a woman that's not in other men's faces, and I
What are you saying?
Here's my next
I
point.
do, but in my relationship, our relationship is different because we're like we run a business, so we have to talk to men and women. Like, I'm okay with him giving a female customer a card. You know what he say? How you doing, beautiful? Can I tell you about da 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 da? I ain't jealous about that. And then sometimes I may give a male a card
Oh,
and say, hey,
beautiful
how you
is
doing?
crazy though.
Yeah, it's cool with us though.
Yeah,
That's
if you're
sweetie.
We're
insecure,
personable.
if you're
We're
insecure,
personable. I call
it's
women beautiful. I call women beautiful every day.
Oh, I'm
It does not
insecure.
matter.
That's fine.
Women can be bisexual. It don't matter. I can say you beautiful. You
exactly.
are.
I'll call him
They're just
sweetheart.
People
insecure.
need
Sweetheart,
confidence.
babe. I
People
do babe
need
or sweetheart.
confidence. I am a person that literally my business was built on confidence. So that's why I disagree with that part. But I
I
do
love
agree
that for
that.
you.
Thank you. I love your story as well.
Thank
I
you.
believe that I think O is what he wants is great. I think that no woman should be all up in other men's faces if that's what her man want. Whatever her man want, she should be doing. Period. Like if
Right,
that's
with the
his rules
exception.
in their relationship, then she should
Vice
do that.
versa.
That
And vice
sounds
versa.
grapey as hell.
Right.
But what?
Can she look people
Whatever.
in the eye?
Like,
Like,
Yeah.
can she look
nah,
them in
she
the
can't do
eye?
that.
Every
She need
relationship.
to look down on the ground every
Lower
time.
your
If she walk out the
gaze.
house,
No, in
her eyes
his
need to be lowered
relationship,
for sure.
if that's what
Lower
he
your
wants,
gaze.
Control
then he
and
should be
insecurity.
able to
No,
get
are
what
are
he
you guys
wants in his
aware that
Nah,
relationship.
man,
are you guys
we
aware
are
that
not for
men
the
on
oppression
average?
of people, man. Let's
And
get
But
vice
that
for
out.
me,
That's
versa, because my man
oppressive.
would
that's
never
not
be
gonna work
That
for
is
me.
hella oppressive.
That's
That's
not
control.
gonna
What
work
you
for
talking
me. But he
That's
should get what he
oppressive.
want. And are
Hell
you
yeah, that's
married?
oppressive.
Oh, are
Okay,
you
I'm
married?
toxic.
Oh, are you
Hell
married?
no, that dude's not
Am I
married.
married? No.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. He's not married, bro. You
Are
can
you in
tell
a
him the way he's talking.
relationship?
He's not married.
I
Are
think
you
I'm
in a,
toxic as fuck.
are you in a relationship?
I'm in a 2025 relationship.
Oh,
Oh Lord.
What does that
A
even
what?
mean, Polly?
It means he
Are
doesn't
y'all
have a woman.
Polly?
That's what it means, bro.
Am I
He's in a relationship
2025
with he's in a
Are y'all
relationship with
open?
Mrs. Palmer.
No, do you guys
open? I don't know about
are you
that.
guys
No,
allowed to screw other people and all
What
that?
the?
no,
That's
that's degenerate.
is it?
What
Because
does
that's
that
what
mean?
I
Are we
look at.
asking questions? What does
It's
that
degenerate.
mean?
No,
Y'all
I just
did.
mean. Well, okay, here's what I
This
mean.
man can't be serious.
Here's what I mean. In
What does it mean?
2025, most women will give it up. So what is the relationship?
What?
So if you,
Prove that.
Yeah,
Prove that.
yeah.
Prove that. Oh,
the
Why you
body
laughing
count,
so hard,
the,
favorite?
the
Oh,
average
Why you
body
laughing
count
so hard,
is
guys?
like
Why you chuckling so
substantiate it.
hard, sir?
Oh,
I
Are
think
they,
the
are they
average
these
body
high
count of a
value
woman is
women?
like 8 nowadays.
Or are they
He's
desperate
really
women?
sad.
Because those are
He's
different.
sad about that.
hey,
Let's
we
see
living
the
in different
count.
times, bro.
No, I know we're living in Babylon. Did you guys know that
Oh
medieval
God.
peasants used to be guaranteed virgins? Basically, medieval peasants. You didn't have to
Yo,
be
why
high
are you so
value.
obsessed with virgins,
Wow.
bro?
Just
You
just
think
let
that's
me
weird?
get this out real quick. You did not have to be Mr. High Value Lamborghini social status. You could be a peasant, and your wife would not be
No,
traumatized.
you had to provide and hunt and
Well,
provide.
Oh
Yes,
my
but I'm
God.
saying the average
Yo,
dude
oh,
got that.
it's
That's my
weird that you
point.
want virgins, bro. Little girls are virgins,
Why
bro.
is
That's what.
bro?
It's
Shut
like,
up!
stop
Shut
it, bro.
up, Philly!
No,
Shut
it's
up,
not.
dog!
No,
Shut
you guys
up, Philly!
always
Stop
Bro,
lying.
nah,
conflated to
bro.
like
Cut
the.
it
not
out, bro.
true.
You're a
That's not
grown
true.
man.
Yeah,
You're a
bro.
grown
Stop that.
man.
Stop that.
Dude,
That's
That's
no,
not
no,
true.
you guys
my
conflated
one
to
rule
the
is if you get muted and I start talking, do not unmute yourself. Because with that one, bro, you a little out of pocket for that. Because, bruh,
Let's not
what
take it there.
all throughout history, dog, the whole idea of marriage was propagated on virginity, dog. You couldn't get married if you weren't a virgin, and we get married today. Why were women wearing all white? You feel me? Like, you sound stupid with that
Yeah,
part.
that's
Him
my
harping
point.
on it is another thing, but saying that he sounds like a weirdo, that's out of pocket, dog.
Yo,
And
favorite. That
purity and
doesn't
virginity
make
have
it
been
right,
a
sir.
sought
Yo,
after
show. Hold on
trait
one second.
since
Let
the
me
beginning
respond
of.
to what he's saying because he's responding to me. So just because we were doing something throughout
Why are you
that
trying to
doesn't
make
make
it
it right,
creepy,
big dog.
though?
It's creepy. No, I'm not making it creepy.
The
It
culture
is
of
creepy,
it.
big dog. What I'm telling you here is right. Throughout slavery,
So you want
throughout
some
Wait, so wait.
favorite?
Okay, so wait.
yo,
So
You
favorite,
is
want
let me
to
every
land the
smut?
plane, big
man?
dog.
You want to
Let
smut?
me land the
Dig
plane,
yourself
bro.
into a
Do you want
Let
to
me land the
smut?
plane, big dog.
Do you
Let
want
me
to
land the
smut?
plane, big dog.
Yes or
Let
no?
me
Do
land
you
the
want to
plane, big
smut?
dog. Yo,
Yes or no?
yes, I
Do
want
you
to
want
land
to
the plane,
smut?
big dog.
Do you want to
Let me land the
smut?
plane.
Jules, let him
Do you
dig
want to
himself into
smut?
a grave.
Yes or no? Do you want to smut,
He's
dog?
about to do
Yo,
it.
just let me land the plane,
Yes or
bro.
no?
So
Do you
so
want to
throughout
smut?
history,
I don't care
slavery
about
was,
the plan. Do you want to smut?
yeah, that's all I care about then,
Do you
man.
want to smut?
I mean, that's
Why does it have to be either or?
What is smut? Porn?
Why is it either
there's
you're
no
a
point in
virgin or a
dignifying
slut?
that. There's no point in
Because he's over
dignifying that.
here
That's just
saying that it sounds stupid and that
you're
it's
making no
crazy and
sense.
only
God,
weirdos
no, you're
want
not
it.
making
Was
sense,
You
wait
bro.
want to
wait wait
smut?
was every man in history creepy?
That makes no sense.
Every
That makes
man
no
in
sense.
history's wife was basically a virgin. Was every man in history creepy?
That's crazy.
I really think they was
Dude,
virgins.
every man's
man in
wife wasn't a
history?
virgin, bro.
I
That
don't
makes
think they was
absolutely no
virgins.
sense.
You know
Every
how many
man? Are
men
you
went
You
to
a
nuts?
troll.
war?
Every
Troll.
man?
Oh, you a
Real quick,
troll.
real quick.
You guys
till we
got to
get to
absorb
that.
the truth.
Listen, real quick. So he's not completely wrong because in some instances, if you were royalty and you were getting married, there were people who were there watching it be consummated. And if they ain't see no hymen break, you was not marrying this guy. The marriage was void right then and there
But
because
yeah,
he's supposed to
yeah,
marry
but
the
that's not
virgin.
every marriage. Favorite. That's not every marriage, though, big dog. That's
I
not every
didn't say it
marriage.
was. I didn't
No,
say
he did.
every. I
He no,
literally
he no,
Hold
no,
started
on.
not you
things off
didn't.
by
No,
saying
he
if
did.
you were
He
Hold on,
did.
royalty,
hold on, hold on. I have
if
a
you
question though.
royalty, just because people were jumping in saying that, how do you know it's not real and why is this important? Okay, maybe not for everybody, but for royalty, which we're supposed to be divine people set aside, we all like to think of ourselves as kings and queens. You feel me? If we gonna be that, then let's really talk about what it was and the fact that that did matter to the point where people looked to make sure it wasn't a lie.
Yeah, and there's
Point,
another
bro.
element to this
No
too.
one is arguing. Look, hold on. Oh, no one is arguing that this didn't happen, right? What I'm telling you is that every woman wasn't a virgin when they got married. That's what I'm saying, right? That's one. Two, just because something did happen, that doesn't make it okay. Slavery was a thing, okay? That doesn't make it okay.
And bro, do you
Like,
Because
see
some
how
people
off
prefer
rail
a
we're
virgin.
getting here
That
now,
doesn't make it
comparing
creepy.
virginity
we're
and
not off rail,
slavery,
bro.
dog?
Guys, this
Like
is
we're
so
getting
simple.
so far from it. Like, why are we comparing slavery to virginity?
Here's what's undisputable.
Because it's a
Men,
historical practice that
yeah,
doesn't
guys,
have the
Right.
same
Right, literally.
same
okay,
He's being
but
practical
so
that
value.
historical,
disingenuous,
okay,
bro.
but
I
that
know you're
historical
smarter than this
practice kept
favorite.
people together.
I know you're smarter than this favorite. Stop playing, bro.
It's a historical
You know,
practice
I
that's
just feel
not
like
not
you're reaching
okay.
to connect the point.
But also,
no,
wait a
dude.
minute. They also paid a bride
What. Go ahead,
price.
Alicia.
They also used to pay a bride price
And
for
men
said
will still
virginity.
do
You're
that
not.
The
today
dowry.
if she's not
Wait, so
super dirty.
you're paying for the virgin or
I'm
not?
saying, listen, Alicia, he's saying that this practice is so out of pocket and it's so wild that he's even bringing it up. And I'm like, it's based throughout history what he's saying. You feel me? So, like,
Yeah,
give my
we've
man the
gone
grace to
well,
finish. You don't have
What
to
I'm saying
agree.
is,
No,
Guys, we
I
have
get it, but I
we've
definitely
tried
want
a
to.
50-year
I need you
liberal
to, but
alternative.
I need you to understand this one thing though, right? The obsession with virginity in a
It's not an
modern.
obsession, it's a basic requirement.
Okay, all right, I heard
that's
you.
an
All right,
obsession.
all right, all
Yeah,
right.
no. Look,
No, button
are
it
you guys
because
aware 99%
button
of
it,
history
bro.
has
Because
been
I
the model
gave
I'm
you the
talking about?
floor. Stop it, because I'm gonna talk over you and I'm gonna be disrespectful. I'm
99%
gonna
of
be super
history has been
disrespectful, and
my
I don't
way.
want to be.
Your guys'
Okay.
liberal
Oh,
experiment
oh,
is
let
why
her
everyone is
let her
breaking
talk.
up.
Let her
Don't
talk.
start with
Oh,
me.
let Alicia talk. Let her talk.
Okay, but I'm just saying your guys' gay way is
I
failing, and that's why
know. We
everyone's breaking
hear
All
up.
it.
right,
I
I let you
know.
be
Let her
wrong,
And now
and
talk.
I
he's
heard
homophobic
you.
too,
Let
bro.
her
Respect,
talk.
Jesus
Just
respect,
let
Christ.
her
respect, respect,
talk. Just let
respect,
her
Let
talk.
respect.
me live, because I've been listening to all of it, and I did not interrupt you.
I think it's
So
in one ear and out the
stop
other.
it, stop
Just
it,
mute
stop
Be
it.
and let her
respectful, please.
talk.
Have
You hold
emotional
Being
on.
respectful of each
regulation,
other.
It's okay.
please.
You
It's
need to
okay.
calm down.
Everybody should
And,
be on
and
mute.
y'all ask him. And y'all ask him if he had a woman. Yeah, right.
Right, have
Come
emotional
on, man.
regulation, because I'm listening to you. I'm saying that in today's day and age, the culture that is supporting the obsession of virginity is highly linked to the other subculture that is ped 3PO. That is what the conversation really is that you don't want to have. So when we're
Okay,
talking
let's have
about,
the conversation right now. No one's running from your weak talking point. The
bro, shut the
truth,
fuck
the
up right now, because me I'll cuss you out
now I
bad.
can't talk. Okay,
Listen
here
to
we
me
go.
right now. You don't want it with me, because me I'll tell
You
you,
think
I'll
you
drag
think
you
you
up.
can bully people into
Listen, I
not
can
having
bully you.
virtue?
I
Let
can.
her
Trust
finish
me.
what she was
Ask the
saying,
panel.
dog.
I can. I
Let her
absolutely
finish
can.
what
I
she
can
was saying,
demolish
dog.
you. Do not rear my anger, bro. Be calm and be
You got
civil. Be calm and be civil,
Go be
because I'm
kind. Be
always
kind.
there.
Relax, man.
Okay? Because the virgin you want is the virgin in the mirror. Okay? The only person that's fucking you is God. So please stop.
And
Do
that's why
not
I know you're not a
do not
virgin,
get
because
do
virgin
not
women
draw my
wouldn't
tongue.
insult men for being virgins.
Oh,
You
shut
you
up.
out
Virgins
yourself
will
so
insult
easily you don't
anyone.
even
Just let her
realize.
talk. Let her talk.
Oh, really? Come on now.
She's not talking, she's insulting.
She's not insulting. Let her explain.
Listen. like I was saying, the obsession of the culture now and in modern day, when we are not adhering to the full practice of dowry, bride price, all of those things, though if you're not going to do all of it, don't do some of it and don't highlight some of it. The only reason why that one particular part of that practice is still in play is because of the access and the proximity to pet 3PO tendencies in society, where now we're seeing tunnels in cities, children being trafficked all over the world. They are trying to have proximal approval to that practice. That is why that is being pushed in this culture right now. And you, my dear, are falling because you're a simpleton and you don't know when people are leading you. Because that, my dear, is masculinity that can understand, yo, I don't want a girl, I want a woman. Now, you may not want a woman that's been everywhere, and I can respect that because I don't want anybody that's everywhere. So yes, articulate you don't want a woman that's everywhere, but to say, oh, there's no value because she's not a virgin, you can't pay a bride price. You can't pay dowry. You don't have an estate for anybody to say you are worth having my virgin daughter. You're on here arguing a mute point that doesn't matter because no one's doing it.
Yeah, right. So here's why you're wrong.
Alicia, you are right.
Is that no one is doing it.
Okay. So here's why you're wrong.
I'm a
You're
conspiracy
saying this is so
Wait,
simple.
hold on. Wait, let me say something.
Wait,
real quick before
okay.
you go
Look,
on.
you got to let me respond. Like she just rambled
Go
for a
ahead.
minute.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, I read you. I got
Here's
you
why you're
together.
wrong. All you're saying
your
is
way.
because society has degraded their morals so much, it's so foreign to me that women are pure that it must be creepy. That's pathetic.
I mean, I
That's a
can
point,
see
though?
where
Is that a point? I don't think that was a
that's
point.
not what she said. I understand kind of like yes, but no, because what she's saying, I'm gonna say partially, I didn't even realize the agenda that goes alongside of that. But at the same time, it can be said that okay, since it's being normalized, because people are in the comments saying we live in a different time, it's a new world that's not normal. So it's like since certain things have changed, we're going to give up that standard or practice of virginity, of being a virgin, and it being okay.
Right, and the reason why it's being pushed
We're
is
giving
because
it
of
up.
the
We're giving it
proximity
up
that.
because the men have caved into whatever the women want. The women are biting from the
Okay.
apple in that they want to run around and still get everything they want and then bully men that say you're not holding up
Okay,
your
that's crazy because
the women
half
are
the
not
men
holding up
have
their
a
end of
higher
the
body count
bargain.
than
And
us
here's the other
women
point.
any day.
Not
Do
only are a
you
lot of women not
know
holding up
that
their
the
end of the bargain.
average
You just don't
woman?
want you just don't want other men to have sex
Hold
either.
on, you
That's
can
your
do your
problem.
little
Wait,
two-dimensional insults
You
wait,
don't
hold
want
on.
just a
other men to
second.
have sex
1 second.
either. That's your
We
problem.
sitting
You
here
want
and
everyone to
acting
have no
like
sex like
abstinence
you.
should not be normal. Abstinence should be normal. We'll have a better chance of finding the man that we're looking for. Be honest, when you've been ran through or done had multiple partners, you are devalued. Your values do lessen because the man is looking at you from your past. He's not looking at you from right now. What he's saying is not weird at all. You used to have to go knock on the door to even court a father's daughter. So I don't understand how that's different. How's that weird? If he don't want nobody
It's
that's
not.
not
It's
ran
not weird
through,
at all. And
he
they can
don't
say
want
whatever
nobody
they
that's
want.
not
I
ran
know the
through.
truth.
Queen
I
is
didn't
speaking
say, hold
facts.
on. You see, you're complaining what I'm saying. I didn't say that he should go out and have someone that's been everywhere. I literally just said, if he doesn't want someone that's been everywhere, I respect that. I wouldn't want anyone that's everywhere either. So no, I am not disagreeing with his idea of saying, or ideology and saying, I don't want a woman that's been everywhere. Absolutely, have your standard, have your boundary. However, to go to the other end of the spectrum and say, well, only woman that's worth my attention is a virgin, is essentially a part of agenda that puts men that are into 3PDO activity into proximal approval because it's not a far stretch. That's what I'm saying. You threw away the entire practice because you still wanted access to youthful virginal women.
But I
Alicia,
didn't
those
say that, and
men
you
will
I
never
hold on.
find a
don't.
woman
I don't
anyway, so it's fine.
I
understand.
didn't say that. You said I said that to strawman me and make an easier point to defeat. All I'm saying is your guy's little experiment the last 50 years has failed.
Which
No
experiment?
What
one, like
experiment?
a lot of people are breaking
50
up because they
years.
think
You
they
know
can get
Your
away with it.
grandmama was no virgin. She was getting up in the back of the car in the drive-in movie theater. Stop it.
Oh wait,
Stop
so you're
it.
saying my grandma was wait.
Chill out,
So
yo.
you're a pure wait. So you're
Right,
a
you
pure
feel
girl
me? You
saying
just
my
finished
grandma
that
was the thought.
chill.
Is that what I'm hearing?
That your grandma
The pure
dealt-
grandma's a thought. Is
yeah.
that what I just heard? Can we
No,
clarify?
no. Your grandma dealt with shit that none of us would deal
No,
with.
no,
because
the
it was back in the
Alicia
day.
girl. Let her speak. So you're a pure virtuous woman. You're saying my grandma was a thought and just accept these women running around doing whatever the hell they want? Yeah, that's what I thought.
First of all, I
Let me
was
say
muted.
something. My
Stop it.
grandpa and my
Stop it. I was
grandma,
muted.
both
First
of
of
my
all,
grandparents got married at like 15 to 16, and they was both virgins. And
listen.
my grandpa said he never cheated on my grandma, but come to find out he had a sad baby. But
No.
yes, can you believe? So he got his
Not the
virgin and he found back. Yes, he
I
got
can
his
believe it.
virgin.
This is
And
common
men
practice.
were a little bit better at hiding their women and hiding the families that they had. I got an uncle right now, literally has a replica of his freaking family. Like they're identical. Like I don't understand why he wasn't satisfied. They love
Exactly.
left the life,
So
even
the
down
point.
to the
Oh, I
other
will chop
woman
my
and
husband's
the
wiener
child.
straight off. And
So the point that we all need to understand is that is not wrong for desiring that, but at the same time, because this whole entire life is about modern day, you have to understand that it's gonna be less. Just like the average woman may not be able to get a 6 foot 6 inch long man. You got to understand that you're not gonna get that woman that may be a virgin that's of the age range that you feel is appropriate to date in modern times. Because they saying the average like 40-year-old woman got less bodies than the average 25-year-old woman. It's
And I
just
believe that
Hey,
wholeheartedly.
I believe that too.
But listen, right
so
here.
you know,
What
anything
ruined
over
modern
5 is
dating?
fine.
young.
1 second. Look, what ruined modern dating? It sounds like to me what O is saying is the fact that the promiscuity levels have risen is the problem. And I don't understand how that's an argument and against. Like everybody just agreed, every dude would rather a woman with less experience than more. And you just said that from looking at a poll with statistics, 25-year-old women have more bodies than 40-year-old women. So if O is under 40, then it is a very big problem for him to approach and address now. Women my age already have twice as many bodies as women twice my age.
I actually agree with that. Can I raise my hand real quick?
This is why I'm saying I don't understand how the conversation turns so combative so quickly when all we're saying is that the promiscuous
Has to be a character attack because they have no substance.
Well, let Bill talk. Let Bill answer. Because she's married. Bill is the
I
person
don't know
that's
what nobody
married.
is saying right now.
Bill is married.
You must be a virgin because you don't want your girl ran through.
I've been
Like, come on.
married for almost 19 years. We're going on 19 years in May. Minute. Thank you. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree with it. I think I do agree with him in a certain stance. Like, yes, some women, are a little more promiscuous, but also so are some men, and that's why my whole thing is like, don't marry somebody unless you guys are on the same page, unless you guys are ready to pour into each other the same amount. Because if you're not, it will never work out. Like, period.
Let me say it like this, and this might bring home the point. Women cannot do like the boys and still be considered ladies.
That's facts.
Fuck out of here.
Hey, I got a question. Are you? Would you have sex with a woman before marriage?
I guess not anymore. I haven't had sex in like a year because I'm so sick of these thoughts, bro. They're soul draining.
I'm just saying, would you? Would
You
you?
chose not to, or you haven't had the opportunity.
I have, but I'm kind of not really up for that anymore.
You don't have to lie to us, man. You don't have to lie to us.
So why
know.
even ask me the question then?
We know how you are, bro.
No. I just wanted because it.
Dude, here's the thing. You guys
can't
make
be
it seem
virgining women and then you can't complain about women not being virgins and then contribute to the issue. That's why you asked the question.
He literally
Like
just said, well, I haven't done it in a year.
Yeah, I said these thoughts are soul draining.
Right, but that means that the previous to a year he was a part of the same problem.
But do you want to know why? Because here's why.
People have to go through things to learn.
I question. He feels this way now that he should keep doing what he was already doing because he's already contributed to the problem. Once you know it's a problem, what do you do?
Here's what happens with most guys that
And
do
he's
rack up a
making
couple
changes, and that's applaudable.
Are we knocking somebody for growth?
No. It's
No, no,
applaudable that
absolutely
he's
not.
making changes. I agree with you. Like that's a great
But
thing for
here's the
him.
thing. Here's the thing. If we were in medieval times, you think I'd be trying to sleep with everybody? No. My whole point is most men, they get 18, 19, they look around and go, shit, they're throwing it around like candy. And oh
Look, and
shit.
before
And
anybody
if
jumps in
you
and
guys
says
haven't,
anything, I'ma just say, for me personally, I was 16 and I was not looking for nothing. I was on the Xbox and playing basketball. I lost my opportunity because a girl literally said, "I want you for my birthday." Like that's
Aww.
how stepped into the game. And like
You
he
were
said,
taken
I
advantage
realized,
of.
oh my God,
That's special.
it's just falling out the sky.
You were
I
taken
gotta,
advantage
yeah,
of.
and then
that's
you know what?
crazy.
And then here's the other
It's
part.
Everybody
not.
took
Here's
advantage
No,
the
of
it's
other
it.
part.
He
okay.
wanted it.
Here's the other
He
part.
wanted it.
Well,
Nobody took
Man,
advantage
I
of
was,
it.
I ain't never seen that. I
Okay,
crossed
but
me
that's
that
the thing.
people
And that's fucked up because if
Okay,
it's an
don't
older
make your girl
girl,
treat you like a
they
thot.
say the guy wants it. But if
But
it's an older guy, they feel for us as victims. But if it's an older guy, they're victims too. I'm sorry. If they're a younger guy, I'm sorry. And if it's an older woman, you're a victim.
we're less than a year different in age.
Okay, less than a year. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. My
The only
husband lost
reason
his
most
virginity at sixth grade to an eighth grader, and I feel like he was taken advantage of. And he doesn't see it that way, but I'm like, no, you were definitely taken advantage of.
Yeah, your guys' worldview, you can call me a virgin, whatever. You're okay. Your guys' worldview has little kids fucking. I'm correct, you're wrong.
Little kids.
What is he talking about? Who made an
Listen,
argument?
this is what he means. Again, since
I
I
need to
have
understand.
to come in
15,
and
16, whatever you want to
relay.
call it.
Right. This is what he's saying. He's saying that from this conversation, what my takeaway would be if I didn't hear everything, and if I wasn't speaking, I would have came into this and I would have heard people fighting for the right of who was in here when Kelly for the right to do what you want with whoever you want, whenever you want, and you shouldn't be looked down upon for it. You feel me? Free range, schmut tier. Even Philly said he sound crazy because who wants a virgin? Smut it up. It's okay to be a smut. That is what I was hearing. This whole conversation was pro smut activity.
I don't agree with that.
You think
You don't have to, but that's what
Absolutism.
the conversation was sounding like by what everyone was saying to him. Outside of saying the way he approached things were a little, you feel me? The way he said it could have been questioned. Talking about medieval times, yes, it was okay, cool. It was abrupt and straight to it was blunt, very blunt. But that wasn't the point that he was leading with. And so with him saying what everyone else was saying, in his opinion, would have kids, i.e., young people, thinking it was okay to be engaging in these types of activities is what would have walked away from this conversation. And he was the only person saying, keep it in your pants, which he was the only person saying, keep it in your pants.
Props for that.
Well, I think you guys are muddying the waters. Like, I think Alyssa was like, it's about absolutism. Like, it's not this esoteric thing. It's just so simple. Stop being so perverted. What the hell?
Oh, okay. You talking to me?
What is
Why
that
you
word
talking to
mean?
me?
You don't even know what you.
Esoteric?
Another take that we
esoteric
didn't
is like a
understand. I think
Why you
another
talking to me? Don't talk
point
to
of
me.
view. I have another point of. Go ahead, Lala ain't talking a long time.
Oh, can I ask
Neither
you
have
a
I.
couple of questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you hold yourself to higher standards when it comes to drinking and any kind of recreational things?
Yeah. I got sober like a couple weeks ago.
Oh. And before that, how heavily involved were you?
Maybe a little grass every other day.
What does that have to do with
Okay.
anything, though?
Yeah, what does
I'll
it
get
have to
there.
do with anything?
If I can have more than 10 seconds, I'll get there.
Okay.
Also, what about your religious morals? I'm just curious.
Christian.
Is there a moral standpoint as far as like the virginity, or is it just a sexual grossness thing?
It's more of like a risk management thing too. Yes, there's the religious aspect, but I don't need God to tell me that a used woman is going to be problematic. And here's the other thing: most women, when they do date a man, they never lower their standards. Like I could date a 9, I could marry a 7. Like that's how it goes. Women, they date someone maybe he's 6'2". It's kind of going to be a downgrade if he's 5'8". So
That's not true though, because if they treat them right, they'll look at them like they're a 10.
Also, the other thing
not
too
true.
is And here's you guys could maybe say insecurity here, but I'd say it's a secondary issue. If she's getting piped by fucking God knows what, how the hell am I supposed to satisfy her? And it's not my fault that I don't have some
we finally got
nature.
to the crux of the virginity thing.
No,
Here we
no,
go.
dude.
Took us a while. Took us
not
a
my
while.
Steve favorite, what
Took
you
us a
aligned with?
while.
If these women
Being really
are going through,
insensitive. Let that man talk.
You feel me? Like I'll make a fun of him.
And then make a joke about it. That's not funny.
And
I found it funny though. But I found it funny. I did. I laughed.
Yeah. Oh, you laughed.
I laughed.
Okay, yeah, I'm not laughing.
I found it hilarious. I did.
make a joke. Just let me finish this.
Him
Let me finish
expressing how he can't please a woman or he don't know if he can because she might have got piped down by Mr. God's favorite. And now you coming over here to
That's not how
it's gonna
vaginas
be a
work.
different dynamic.
Let's stop that nonsense. That's not how vaginas work.
Hold on. Here's
Let O talk. Let O talk.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Real quick. A woman was in here and agreed with the dude who was saying, a dude got on here and said the problem with modern dating is toys. And it changed the whole game. You feel me? So it's like, it doesn't even have to have anything to do with what he is or is not doing. I am not a rose, and I damn sure am not a rose with the extension on it. Bruh, what?
Right. I'm not a jackhammer, and that's not my fucking fault. Like, that's the women glitching their fucking pussy.
So let me be serious. So what you're saying is that you want a virgin because you don't think you can measure up to other men. Is that what you're saying?
That's how you're taking it because you're insulted by whatever he said earlier, and everything he's saying is coming at you through a skewed lens for some reason. Alicia, that's not what he said at all.
Let me put it on the woman's side.
That's what he literally said.
If I let me put it on the woman's side real quick. If let's say I'm obsessed with corn. If I'm death gripping every day and the woman can't satisfy me, that's not her fault. It's just you're fucking kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Like you're setting,
I agree with
as a
that.
woman, you're setting yourself up for failure.
You need therapy.
I agree with that too. I can understand that. Like I ain't gonna lie. When I got with my dude, he told me he ain't eat no coochie. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, what you talking about? What you talking about? I'm like, I just came from the head doctor a few years ago. I need you to become a head doctor. So that was a problem in my relationship because I had experienced some amazing, you know what I'm saying? So to come to for him to not know
And it had nothing to do with him not being big enough.
Right.
Alicia,
So I'm
really-
just giving another example that had nothing to do with size. And he was not able to please me in the way that I was used to, whether you could call me promiscuous or not. It don't matter. Because I had a person before him, now my husband to be got to go through all of these.
Has to do something that he didn't know to do.
And not just that, but he would always say that I do good, and I would sometimes I just was so in love. I'm like, yeah, babe, but it's not good. So how do he feel if I keep saying, is it not good or am I just comparing him? Is it not good or am I just comparing him to the head doctor?
He's trying.
Exactly, and that right there, what you just said right there is the trope of every modern relationship. I think most women, like most men are average, most women are average. It's not like these dudes suck at life. They have jobs and shit. But women are comparing it to their past relationships. In the past, like the prior years, they didn't have all these other men to compare their husband to. And you could say,
I don't think it's comparative. Let me just speak on this real quick.
Can I answer because I was called out by name?
Well, what do they say? Comparative is the
Can I answer because I was called out by name?
I'll answer.
What he just said, bro. What he just said was the preference of virgins. Call me insecure if you want to, but and he just restated it was that the comparison of other men before me, and I may not be able to.
Why are we harping on the men aspect when we just had a woman give an example that was the opposite? And it's the exact same
Would a
point.
woman be out of pocket for wanting a man who's a virgin?
I'm harping on that is what his reasoning for his focus was.
No, first of all,
and this is why I said before Bundle and O spoke last, I feel like Alicia, I said your name, and Philly are taking things and skewing what he's saying. And my point still stands.
Can I give my opinion real quick?
So is he not saying what I just said though?
No, Bundles just told you that's not what he was saying.
Yeah, let me rephrase it.
her
if I
account.
see a girl,
He
let me rephrase it.
said,
This might help.
I
This might
don't
help.
want to have to
Oh, let
compete
her
with the
finish,
previous
bro.
Alicia, Bundles gave her account because you were misinterpreting what O was saying. So since you were looking at it from a male woman perspective, she gave you the exact same dichotomy from a woman to male perspective. It applies to both sides. You're making it about O.
Real quick, I just want to say, I think if you guys are compatible on all levels and truly in love, your bedroom life and your friendship life and all of that will reflect on it. And if you guys aren't compatible on any of those levels, it's probably not the one for you, and that's fine. We got to all find who's right for us, but the person who is going to be right for you will blow your mind in the bedroom. They will be your best friend. You guys will laugh every night. And if it's not that, you're trying to make something work with something that's not about to work.
I think if you look at it like this, if I see a woman with 20 bodies, I'm not gonna not date her because one of those guys might have been an inch longer. That's not the point at all. That shows more on you. It's that she's gonna have trauma and baggage, and she's gonna have fucking just random breakdowns like an old car. And none of it will have been my fault. I just didn't get there first.
But if you guys are connected on a connective level, none of that will matter. It won't matter if you're an inch smaller or 5 inches smaller. If you are connected on that level, you guys will connect physically, emotionally, all of that. And if you don't, it's not the right one, and that's fine.
I agree,
That's
but
totally
I
fine.
agree, but let me add this
But
part.
how
I
does she
think
find that in the modern day? Like that's what this is about. It's harder to find.
It's not. It's
For
not.
let me
him,
add, let, let
for
me add this
him,
other
Because
point.
people
Yeah, because no,
lie.
the
that's
only
why he's
reason
been
it's hard.
celibate for a year. The
He's
poor
been celibate for a
guy.
year
Poor
because women
guy.
don't like the words
Oh
that he
man.
uses.
No,
That's
It is
no,
why.
no,
okay
no,
for
no.
Women
I
don't
somebody
like
just
to
the
said
not
it.
like
nonsense
permission
that
been
he
celibate
spews.
for a year
That's
because you
why.
shouldn't be
okay.
having
He's not
sex.
celibate by
You.
choice.
No, he
Yes,
said
his
that you
views
shouldn't be having
on
sex.
women and relationships is the reason why he's celibate.
No, I've been getting
That's
neck for a
why.
year. I just don't want a pregnancy scare.
No, I bet.
He's
I believe you,
trolling
bro.
y'all. Like,
Somebody in the
Right.
I don't get
comments.
it.
Somebody
Everybody,
in
He's
the
man. Good
comments.
topic. I'll talk
trolling.
to y'all later.
Stop
Somebody
it.
in the comments said they will be
Oh,
there will
you're
be
dope, bro,
walls
man.
up
Take it
I'm
that
gonna
easy,
you
follow
bro.
won't know
everybody.
about. What about
He's
the
a
emotional
troll.
trauma
Stop
that
it.
you go through? What about the emotional trauma you go through over a heartbreak? Remember early on when I said like my guy really brought me up, like it was just crazy emotionally, because what I didn't tell y'all is that my child's father was physically abusive to me and used to degrade me emotionally. He would say, "Oh, you're just an ugly black bitch." And that would get to me, whether I had confidence or not, because this is the person I created a life with, and he was down on me. So
And
at
not
the
to
end of
cut
the
you off,
day,
Bundle, but to go in hand and relate back to what O is saying, the more relationships that you have and the
yeah,
more intimate these relationships become, the more traumatic it is when they end.
yeah, and that's something that I
Listen,
had to
Hold
go through a
Yeah,
lot
on.
of dealing with.
this is
And I feel
basically
like
this
a lot of men don't want to put up with that. Like, why would they put up with all of that back? I have a kid. I had this emotional
You would have
trauma.
married the first man,
I
though.
would be. I
You'd
would
have
have.
married the baby father, though.
What you mean?
How would you?
According to O's scenario or ideal world, you would have married the father of your child who was telling you those things.
No, and
You'd
The
have
one
according
that's
to
married.
calling you an
O's
ugly black
ideal
bitch.
world, she would have been a virgin when she got married.
And those men would have
Yeah.
An ugly black bitch.
men would have been more
She'd
honorable
still
too.
be an
That is
ugly
not
black
what he
bitch.
said, bro. Stop it,
She just said
Philly.
he said. That's what
Right?
she said.
Did
He
he
said.
listen, dog? She did not tell us that was her first ever. She didn't say that's who she lost her virginity to. O is saying that men seek out virgins, and so in a perfect world, Bundle would have got married a virgin as everyone. That's it. No one's saying who
And
she
the
would have
man
been
would have
with
been
and
too,
what she
yeah.
would or would not have had.
Yeah, but what I was saying, the reason why I said that is that my man had to still deal with that emotional baggage that I went through, and it was a lot. And like the average guy, like maybe they don't want to deal with that. He doesn't. What if just doesn't? He got to deal with her having bodies. He got to deal with her wanting to be pleased like the other men. He got to deal with her emotional baggage because the other man broke her heart and wasn't nothing. Why should he? Why should y'all modern men that's 25 and under have to deal with a bunch of women that's like that? That's what he trying to say. He don't want her to have all of that emotional and physical and sexual baggage.
Her insecurities and all that. But
He
guess
don't
what? If
want
they love
that. And
you,
there's nothing wrong with him saying he doesn't want that. We're
then that's
bashing a man
fine.
for saying he wants a quality, stand up, respectable
But
woman. Like,
but
what's
if
wrong with
she's
saying
the
that?
woman who treats him like a king, who cooks for him, who wants to be there for him and that, then he should put up with all that because she's willing to make him her number one.
Who
Yeah,
are
I
we
mean,
to
I
say
mean,
what
look,
Your man
someone
when you
should
were
and
14,
shouldn't put up
though.
with? The same way everybody says she shouldn't have put up with somebody calling her an ugly black bitch. Why should he? No, we're not doing this. Coco,
Shell,
please come
didn't you
ahead
say
and
you met
answer.
your man when you were 14, though? So you wouldn't have never had to deal with that baggage and that other stuff beforehand.
We've dealt with shit. Don't worry. Our just because we've been together
Together, you
forever doesn't
didn't
mean we
give it
haven't been
to
through
another
hard
man. It wasn't
times.
5 people who put you through all the same type of stuff as your husband, and then you got a husband after
My
5 dudes did all the
my
same
husband
stuff.
was with a lot of girls and
I don't think
Listen,
the
we're
women
not here to do that.
realize
I don't
how
even care,
invested some
honestly.
of these men are.
Look, Coco, please answer the
I
question.
think.
Okay, so
Do
I get what O is saying, and also it's almost like just because something is wrong, you never, from what I'm hearing from the panel, you never correct it. If you can think back like to your first love and how pure that was, and how amazing God's design is, like, and you would have never had all the trauma from your different relationships. Like, I completely understand what he's saying, 100%, and it's even with like the issues of even when you heal you still have like that essence of you have a little bit of less you're not as trusting, I would say. You have more walls up that need to come down. So I don't think we should jump on him based off what he's saying, what his own personal desires are. I mean, everyone's not equally yoked. So I get totally what you're saying. I think
Yeah.
our we have gotten off track, and I think, Alicia, I don't want to jump on you, but I think that was an odd comparison as far as like I think you weren't holding people that are Schmidophiles and Edos accountable, because wanting purity shouldn't equate to that. That's on them. That's
I mean, I will
holding the
say
wrong
this,
people
Coco. I
accountable.
understand what you're saying. I do agree how she looped it into what was happening here and saying not to go down that rabbit hole was weird because it's not what we were talking about. But when you bring the fact up that like that conversation about how important it is has been circulating the internet, and I definitely can agree that people who are pushing that and standing 10 toes down on it are probably closely related to that ring of people. You feel me? So not to completely say it was a negative, but I feel like it was a stretch to loop it into that point of the conversation because nobody was going there.
I haven't heard about anything like that, but I just think we're holding. That's like a man. To me, was what it sounds like, a man, like hitting on his wife, and they're blaming the victim, saying that there was something like, what did the wife do? Like, no, let's hold the man accountable, or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't see that correlation with God's design, if that makes any sense. I think it's perfect how He designed it, but we are, partaking in things that we shouldn't be partaking of, and that's the real reason why we're having the fallout, because a lot of these people have had issues when they were kids. That's the trauma, because you're more likely to offend when you've had trauma to you when you were little.
Well, you
So
want to know? You want to know trauma? Trauma is a dude realizing his girl got fucked by someone else before him.
Okay, Coco,
Nah,
chill.
if that's
Coco,
trauma,
you
dog,
are
then we
right.
all got unlivable trauma.
yeah, I don't know
I
about
don't know.
I don't know about that.
No, I know, but that's why things are. That's why everyone is breaking up because we're pretending that it's just like I'm
You're
telling you,
dumb as a
man.
box of rocks. I ain't
Most
gonna even
people
lie to
you've
y'all,
been
bro.
with have been with somebody before you, though. That's
Yes,
not a valid reason.
I mean, to a certain
But
extent,
also,
it kind of
can I
is.
say one other thing too?
Go ahead, Coco.
wait. I find it funny that women can't empathize with that. They don't understand that men are traumatized when they think of their girl with someone else.
Okay, but what about all the hoes you guys were with before us? Like,
Women don't.
it doesn't matter.
Can I say one
Let
other thing?
Coco finish what she was about to say.
Women don't
I
care about
will
it the
say
same.
though, I think what one of the reasons that this younger generation has no hope, they have less hope, is because they're
have a baby. That's just not acceptable. The same exact trauma you talking about, that's the same exact trauma women got to go through when men cheating on you. Like, and she was a virgin. So, like, I'm saying, what if you get your virgin? You gonna treat her right? Like, are you on the opposite end? Are you doing what you need to do to earn a virgin?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yes,
said
yes,
yeah.
but yes. So check this out, though. We're not playing. I'm not saying it's okay for the men to cheat, and cheating is a little deviant, which is a little sus, right? Like, if you're gonna do it, just I don't know. I don't see the point in lying to the woman. But let me add this. Stop pretending it's the same game, okay? We're playing on hard mode. You guys are on easy mode. Testosterone wise, men are like 20 times. We keep pretending that the genders are the same in every regard, and it's going to be set up for failure.
Stop giving people like mics, man. They just say so much stupid shit on the internet.
Dude, what? Okay, what was stupid, bro? What was stupid?
What did he say just now that was men stupid? Are 20 times hornier than women. Pull
Every man is hornier than every
I got
woman.
you. Yeah. I hear you. Pull up the stats.
Okay, look at testosterone
No,
units.
you pull it up, sir.
Bro, how am I supposed to pull it up right
But
now?
you're the one who's interested in it. You the one who said he's wrong. So you pull it up.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I
the
know
stats,
he's
bro.
wrong. Like,
It's
just
If you know he's wrong, then why do we need to pull anything up?
Dude,
you already know.
He needs to know he's wrong, not me.
I'm telling you
I
the
know he's
stats,
wrong.
dude. Men have, women have 50 units of testosterone. Men have about
He's just
700.
sanitary, baby. That's all it is.
Oh, with that logic,
This is the only thing that makes
He's
you horny.
inflammatory, baby.
Dude, I never said it was the only thing, but
Okay,
I'm
so
saying
why bring it up then?
because
Why bring it up?
I'm bringing it up to distinguish that we're not playing the same game. Men
Okay,
are
great. That's
hornier
great.
than women.
I think that's amazing.
Like,
Oh,
if we
with
keep
that
pretending
logic,
that
women
they're the
get
same,
hit
it's
on
not.
more than men. That's so great.
you
I think
understand that?
I
Like, as soon
totally
as we
agree.
step out, with that logic, women get hit on more than men. As soon as we step outside, I mean, we have so many people pursuing us more than the sexes. Okay, so if you, by your logic, I mean, we could say, oh, it's so hard to turn down all these men because every time we go outside, we can't even go to the gas station
Is it hard to turn down men?
and pump gas. I'm giving you the logic that you're using. We have an equal. I mean, people like it's not hard for women to
Let me, okay.
get a man or get the attention. We're not even trying to get the attention of a man, and you get it.
Right, but why? Because men are driven to cheat more. Duh.
Right, and they should be allowed to. You're absolutely right. Yeah, you're right.
Answer
You're
this
so
question.
right.
Answer this question.
You're absolutely.
What
You're so
gender
right.
is
You are
driven
absolutely
to
right.
cheat more? What gender is driven to cheat more?
Absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Based on testosterone and nothing that they can control, and women should be virgins. And I don't know who they're going to have sex with, but absolutely, you are absolutely right.
Well, are you confused? You know how men's, or I've heard this argument. You want to have
I
sex with
disagreed with
women?
what you said.
No, but I've heard this argument, and it's so facetious. It's like you want the women to be pure, but have sex with all the women. Have sex with mainly the top men, so the women are actually recycling the men. That's why there can be all
Right,
these.
but they should be.
That's why there
No.
can be.
They
That's why there
should
can
be
be players.
virgins. Wait, no. They should be virgins, and I don't know how the
All
men
right,
are
so
going to be
women
able to
shouldn't be
satisfy their
virgins. They
sexual
should be
needs.
smuts, and men cheat
No.
because of
I'm
high
not. I'm
testosterone.
totally agreeing with that.
No, you're being condescending.
Yeah, I don't know how you can try to intellectually argue.
I'm
that women should go out and
being condescending because he's being inflammatory. That's all it is. Like
It's
literally,
inflammatory
people
to
who are
you
agreeing with
because
him.
you live in
I'm not.
Delulu
I'm not
land.
inflamed anymore.
Bundles,
I'm quite
are you
chill.
inflamed right now?
There are girls
Wait,
in
I'm sorry.
Africa
I'm
that
thrown
know
off,
this
y'all.
shit.
What y'all talking
She
about?
said he's being inflammatory. I said, are you inflamed right now?
No.
All right, I didn't think so. Coco, are you inflamed?
I was. All I have to say about that is, it's to his logic on that. Women are, because you can say that women are we naturally want to. We're biologically engineered to want stronger protectors and leaders. You know what I mean? So, to that same breath of what you just said, as far as like the top men, you can say we're biologically engineered that way to want them.
Yeah, well, that's why the top men have harems of women to this day. So you're correct.
That doesn't change your. I just don't agree with
All
your logic. I just
here's
think
the
that you're
truth. Here's
used
the
to.
truth.
I
This
just
is
think I didn't cut you off, sweetie. I just don't think that. I think you're accustomed to certain things. That doesn't make it right.
no. I've read every research stat you can. The only reason there's any resistance to this is because it might possibly reveal an unflattering reality of women. Like men will openly tell you, yeah, men can be pigs sometimes. Why do you women have to? You guys are perfect. You can't. There's not one thing that could go wrong with you guys, really.
Get your logic. What are you saying?
You guys are trying to
You're saying that I'm not saying the women are
Right.
perfect. Is that what you're? What are you? What
No,
are
no,
you?
but I'm saying whenever a guy comes on and says these somewhat traditional statements, it's always this like bullying or silencing tactic because it's like that you guys are trying to hide an unflattering reality about women. Like you're
What's the
trying so
unflattering?
hard
What's the unflattering? Like what is it? What
that
is
women are very impressionable.
that we're impressionable?
Yes, your first boyfriend is always going to have your heart. Men, they might not even remember her name. Okay, we're just not the same. Okay, they'll remember her name, but it's different.
No, I don't get your semantics. I mean, I don't get what you're saying as far as what it has to do with with the current argument. What are we
Okay.
trying to hide versus what about what you said? I feel like I'm just telling you my view, my perspective.
So, because there is a division of the genders, most of men's value does come from money or resources, and most of women's value comes from looks and purity.
Purity, yeah.
And the reason women are so resentful nowadays is because they've already made those mistakes. I could be broke as fuck. I can always go make more money. She can't untraumatize herself, and that's why it's sensitive.
No, I mean I pretty much agreed. I don't know if you see who's talking. I pretty much agreed with what you said when I came up here. I
And
agree
the problem
that
is
men
the
want.
way that he says the things. Like I said, very rash, very blunt, straight to the point.
Yeah, I say some harsh stuff for the weak folks.
For the what?
Overall, too, with the whole view of being with multiple people can cause baggage. I've been with my husband since 17. We got married at 25. We've been together 16 years, just married almost 11 now. That's a pretty good record. And we don't have the emotional baggage of dealing with past partners, past traumas. So I can see that being something that some men, look for, not having to deal with that.
Yeah. And I feel like it's really had to, it's like a fuel in my relationship to kind of get through it because I got mine, but then he got his too from his baby mom and the things that she puts him through emotionally. And he's an amazing father. He has his son full time. So it's like on the opposition, we both have to deal with that baggage. And then early in the relationship, I used to be like, dang, I wish he just ain't had no baby mom. I wish, and he would tell me, man, I wish you ain't had, I wish we kind of started fresh with our own family. And yeah, it can cause like problems. And women, sometimes we don't want to admit that, but I came on here to keep it real with y'all. Emotional baggage has to be cleaned up. You have to get therapy. You have to seek God. You have to seek bettering yourself. Like I'm working out every day. I'm keeping my physical body up, but on the inside, I'm eating better. I'm reading my Bible. I'm trying to be the best woman of God so that when I become a wife soon, it could last forever. We all got something to learn on this panel.
Yeah, no, because I agree with what you said, but I didn't agree with the part that just because in history, some of the longer relationships, like women stay more so because they had to stay, more than like if we have the flexibility to leave, whereas my grandmother, did not. And that's the difference. And we can take care of ourselves. Women weren't even allowed to have bank accounts. Black people got rights before women did. So it's just a different generation. And we seen what our grandmothers and our aunts went through, and we don't want to go through the same thing. So to answer the prompt again, that's part of it. And I feel like men are kind of almost reaping their karma a little bit with this younger generation because they're ruthless. These girls are on a whole nother, they don't care.
You
So
said the women had to stay. Maybe some, yeah, there's some truth to that. But I also think it was probably better because today Pandora's box has been open. And here's a quick couple stats: 1 in 4 has had an abortion, 1 in 3 has had an STD, women, and 1 in 4 women is on anti like psychiatric medicine. So you guys have as much freedom as ever, but it seems that it's not working, and that's my whole point. It's not working.
they were just as
Think you could
traumatized
be
then.
okay with leaving your husband. I don't think that's cool. Like my parents, they still work through their problems and they still married. Like same with my godparents. Like so when we get married, it's not gonna be nothing that's gonna break us apart. Like a lot of the number one reason people are getting divorces is due to finances and infidelity.
Yes,
That stuff could
finances
be
first.
fixed. And what?
I said you're right. Finances first. You're right.
Yeah, so it is that stuff could be worked out. But what he's saying, or not just him, I'm not gonna keep talking about him. I'm just saying in general, if you want a provider and you want a man that's gonna do all these things and he's gotta basically risk his life to make sure that the family is good, what he wants on the opposition and that like purity and like you know what I'm saying, that submissiveness, that femininity, like we both have to do our parts in society so that we can more people are married and last and want to get married. Saying, "Oh, I got money, I could leave." Why leave and go where? Where you going, to your own house to pay your own bills, to clean your own house, to feed your kids you want to have? Because that was another conversation we had too in the beginning. Was like, well, if you don't find a mate, like if you want children, how do you have children? What do you like? Now you got to go to a sperm bank because the dude you was with ain't nothing.
So I don't agree with. I mean, some of the things. A lot of women. I get somewhat of your perspective, but I don't get like a lot of these women. Were I don't know. Almost not one of my in the what's it called, the generation above me that were in abusive relationships where they actually got hit. So like I don't think that that's excusable, and I don't think you should stay through everything. That's my point, that both sides have work to do. You shouldn't just throw in the towel easily, no, but you shouldn't also accept any and everything. And it's like the pendulum, or what's it called, the pendulum, whatever it's called, has really swung the other way because of that dynamic. Also, we have a lot of single mother households where we lack the skills on both sides, on the woman's side and the man's side, because we didn't get good examples of what an amazing relationship looks like.
Yes, exactly. That's actually my answer to the prompt. I never gave it, but my answer to the prompt is actually the lack of two-parent households. The lack of a father figure to lay down the law and have her learn how to respect a man, and teach his son how to be a man. Having a mom around to teach her how to be feminine, how to get what she needs from a man in the way of how to speak to him and how to engage with him, and to teach her son how to, respect women. And that all starts with a core relationship between a loving father and a loving mother.
But don't you think, Lala, don't you think the reason of a lack of two-parent households is basically because of feminism?
I think that's part of it. Also, in America, some stuff in the government in black households, which we all are aware of, I'm sure. I don't have to restate all that. But yes, I do believe that is part of it.
Because I see it, here's how I see it. I don't see it as like hating women. I just see it more as like risk management. You don't want to take a bad bet. And I see it, I see dudes, they're still doing the 50s role of provider. That's never going to go away. Dudes are always going to have to pay the bills. But we've caved in and let the women kind of run rampant and do whatever. And I think that's why there's a problem, because psychically the men are like, shit, I feel like I'm doing my part, but she's not doing hers. And the parts are not the
That depends on the
same.
type of men or the type of women you're dealing with, because some women will have the absolute opposite effect depending on demographically where they're at and depending on the neighborhood they come from. The men aren't there to provide anything, and their only job has been to run. You're talking about in areas where, yes, the men are stepping up, the blue collar areas where they are stepping up and they are providing. But you have to see both sides of that same coin. I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying there's a second side to the coin.
Yeah, I got you. And I will concede, I'll give one concession. The men are weak as hell. Like testosterone rates are so down compared to our grandpas. So I'll concede to that. But I just think it's more like men are always going to have to hold up their end of the bargain. Whereas with women, it's like, oh, you're just insecure. And we've let this propaganda get in everyone's mind when it's just like, nope, bills, purity. Those are the two bargaining chips, basically, as brash as it is.
Think I would say that women, actually, I would say, since, like you said, that's one of the reasons was the feminist movement, but you have to see what the feminist movement was in response to. But no, women actually do more, because not only do they do everything that their grandparents did, now they're paid 50-50. And that's not all households, but it's a good bulk of them. And also, to answer your previous question, it's also some of these social systems like Section 8, that the program has changed. But in the Black community, that was part of the reason why a lot of Black men weren't in the household.
All right, Coco, I'm glad you said that. I don't mean to cut you off. Please continue. But someone in the comments was talking about Black people get married, blah, 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 blah. And what you're bringing up exactly is what Lala was talking about when she just said Black households and the government and marriage. So please just continue.
Yes, and the candy epidemic that was put in certain areas, in certain neighborhoods, that caused the deterioration of like the family nucleus. So it was a lot into that. But yeah.
Yeah, women were financially compensated for losing their husbands in a way, and it really caused a lot of issues.
Just like in
homes,
sales,
yes.
right? In sales, they want you, when they want you to do certain behaviors, they increase your what you're going to make if you do this behavior. So those social systems, they incentivize bad behaviors.
That's true, especially like okay, the EBT card, because no wait, Section 8. No, you already talked about that. I guess
Mama.
I guess the point I'm trying to say is, like, I know a lot of people that tell me that, I get this amount of money in Link. I get this amount, and I got free child care, and I got Section 8. So they don't have to pay for nothing. So when I say, girl, like, you trying to get married? She's like, girl, I've been with my dude for a long time, but he got his own crib, and I got my own crib, and he ain't moving over here because then I'm going to lose my Section 8. And I'm like, what you mean? You don't want you and him to progress because you're going to lose your Section 8? And she was like, yeah, because if he leaves, then I ain't going to have nothing. No, you could just go get a job and, go to school. You will have something if he leaves. You just won't have.
And that's exactly what happens. The kids
And then
see
they
that,
try
and
to-
then fundamentally, they think that's how you're supposed to handle the situation, Bundle. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I think that's crazy. And I'm like, at some point, you got 4 kids. Your oldest kid's 16. When are you going to just get off the government assistance?
And you shouldn't be able to be on it your whole entire life. But that example that you gave, that literally happened to my brother and his ex. She didn't want to get off of those social systems. And he was like, I don't want Project Kids. He was like, I don't want that type of life. And she would not get off of her assistance. And he left her and got married. And she still, and she eventually, wound up buying her own house and stuff like that. But that's what motivated her, because she lost a good man. Like, and it's crazy that happens, but it's true.
Would you guys believe me if I told you that prior to women voting, most of them didn't want to because
I don't think most of them will believe you, dog. They think you lying.
Well, they had feminist, or they had suffrage versus anti-suffrage debates, and actually it was like 98% of women said we don't want to vote because we foresee it as breaking up the nuclear family, and women will vote for these social programs, the government, healthcare, or welfare, and it'll basically replace the father. But it comes to this point of like they don't want to be involved in politics. They thought it was a dirty man's game.
It is.
Yeah. So they didn't want to do all of that. They wanted, and women liked their lives back then. They didn't have, social responsibility and have to go to work and all this. But nowadays it's kind of different. But yeah, so check this out. They had a referendum, which is just like a single poll vote, and they asked all these women across the U.S. in like 1890 something. They're like, "Do you women want to vote?" It was like 98%.
I'm cleaning the counter.
98% of women said they didn't want to vote in the 1800s, and then Susan, like, oh, you women, you guys just don't know what's good for you. You guys are brainwashed. So they literally rejected the women's vote to not vote.
Cite your sources.
Feminism
You
has
have to look at
destroyed a
sources.
lot of things like chivalry
Cite your
and
sources. Oh,
the basic way people should be treated.
They wrote the woman's
98% of
Bible.
no demographics have ever done anything.
Look at
98%, bro.
yeah, you can look up
What drugs have you been on, bro?
just look up anti-suffrage
Yeah,
pamphlets.
just pull it up, bro. You pull it up. Go ahead.
I don't think I can. I'm the camera
How is he
stuff.
gonna show it to you though?
Just look up anti-suffrage stuff, or anti-suffrage pamphlets. Dude, make no mistake about it. This was a conscious attack, dude. They wrote the woman's Bible in 1895 too, because they thought the whole Bible was oppressive. So they rewrote the whole thing, and I'm telling you, this stuff helped usher in a new wave of feminism. Aided by the Rockefellers too.
I
Average
have
women
a
did not
question
want
for
this at all.
everybody, if you don't mind. For everybody on the panel, including the people who haven't had a chance to say anything, what would an ideal modern world look like then? Since we can't go back to the past and modern dating is screwed, what then is a point by point ideal situation? I don't think Queen said anything. Yeah, I don't think Queen said anything. Yeah.
I can answer really quickly. I mean, so I think ideally, if you look at some of the countries that have gotten it right, like if you look at their marriage rate, I think that's what is wrong now with society and like crime, because the mother wasn't at home, especially in the communities with higher crime. Like nobody was home to raise them. So, like if you look at like Qatar, or some like the Muslim countries, even like it's just they're peaceful. You ask people to go visit there. I mean, they might have some income problems, but like look at those countries. I feel like they're doing a better job. I'm not saying that they're perfect, but they're better than I would say than the state of America.
I'm sorry,
Well,
which
yeah,
country? I didn't hear
it's
you.
very easy to say that marriage is working out when people don't really have rights to leave these
Right,
marriages.
that's what I was saying. Like, what,
Like
and
that's
not to
obvious.
say, let's look at what someone else is doing. Like, what are your bullet points of what would make a modern society or a modern dating schematic work better? Not necessarily the examples that you see, but the bullet points according to you.
I think I said it a bunch of times, but I said that God needs to be the center of your own
Mm-hmm.
personal life and of your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing I said is working together. They say that couples that stay together longer and stay married longer create businesses or run a business together. So if you run some type of business with your mate, you're more likely to stay together. And
'Cause ain't
then
nobody leaving when the money start coming.
okay, I ain't going out of place, baby. And then the third one would be if you want a family, like if you really want a family, you need a man. You cannot think it's okay to have a child knowing there will be not a man there. It's different if he, passes away or something, but you need to women need to understand that we need men. And I think that's what's been lost in society. We think that we don't. We really think men know they need us. I ain't really heard no man say, I don't need a woman. I don't need no woman. No, that's women saying that stuff. I don't need a man. I got my own stuff. But you still having smacks.
100%.
But you're still having smacks. So you're still giving some man your body. You still want to go on a date every now and then. You still want to go on a trip with the opposite sex, but you don't want to be with them and be in a relationship. That's what needs to happen. Women need to understand they need men. Period.
What about you, Lala?
I agree with a lot what she said. God needs to be put first in your relationship and you singularly. And also, I feel like the nuclear family needs to be more respected. There needs to be more set up to keep the family together, less incentive. And also, I feel like the nuclear family needs to there needs to be more set up to keep the family together, less incentive to tear families apart for financial gain or for whatever else you can get. Go in between, but having both really does change the dynamic. And I think that we raised single mothers tend to spoil their children in ways that they wouldn't, and single fathers tend to overcorrect children that they can't connect with on a different type of emotional level. So that's kind of my gist.
What about Queen?
I'm not sure she's there.
She took herself off mute, but
Wait, are you
I don't think I can
talking?
hear her.
I hear something.
What's
Right?
going on with the guy at the top? One man.
Yeah, one man in the corner, quiet.
Yeah, how y'all doing? I just was kind of listening, seeing where seeing everybody's angles and perspective. So with me, I believe in change. So
hmm
things weren't going to stay the same way that they were. That's why I kind of put in the comments earlier that today's woman isn't yesterday's woman, but today's man is yesterday's man. There's been a transition. Somebody mentioned it earlier that
hmm
a lot of women kind of seen what their mothers, their grandmothers, and their aunts went through, and they decided that that wasn't going to be the life for them. They were going to do differently, and in that we end up getting expectations change, right? Because now if she can pay her own bills and take care of herself, protect herself, now what is it that the man is bringing to the table other than those things? And I think that's where a lot of the issues is. The man is still wanting to say like, hey, I'm the protector, I'm the provider. And one of the things I've even learned from listening to some of the ladies in the conversations, when we talk about providers, I mean protectors, the majority of the time, like we're protecting women from other men. Like a lady gave an example of her being in the club with her guy, and a dude comes up and does something, and she throws a drink in his face. And the guy was like, well, she felt that because the man was there, she felt protected. But truth of the matter is, if the guy wouldn't have done nothing disrespectful to her, she probably would have never threw his drink in his face. It's not a woman that's breaking into the house; it's probably a man that's breaking into the house. So I kind of understand that if men be better in different areas, a lot of that protection that we claim women need us for, they wouldn't need us for that kind of protection, which isn't the only protection that a woman needs a man for. I don't think people realize that it's a balance. We need each other to balance each other out. That's why we're the exact opposite um, of each other. So it's just getting to understanding. Men don't do enough studying and listening to women to hear what they're saying and try to learn and try to make adjustments where they can, and vice versa. Women don't listen to men to see what they're saying and try to learn to be better. We're just like always going at each other's necks, and there's never resolve. There's just us just constantly shooting shots at each other, and we're not. I'm sorry, I keep using that, and we're not
One
getting.
thing One thing I've learned from running panels and discussions like this is that a big problem is just the ears don't be working, dog. Like
They
I've
don't.
literally just took something that a woman said and just said, "Look, dog," and dudes, I agree with that, and vice versa. It was like, "Look, so the point of the matter is," and the whole argument just dissipated. It's not listening.
Oh, I think
It's
Queen's
like we're
back.
on here to give our points and not to actually learn how to be better and how to be able to grow and be with each other. Like you will have a person that's codependent trying to date a person that wants an interdependent person, and then they'll complain that relationships don't work and that this and that person's not nothing, and you're just picking bad. Like you may not know that you need a codependent person as a man. If you want a woman to submit to you, then you probably need to date a woman that feels that she's codependent. If you're the kind of person that wants to like start a business with your person and y'all be partners, you may want to find a woman who has a more of an interdependent type of way of seeing things. But we're trying to force people into seeing things the way that we want them to be instead of just going out and doing the work on ourselves and finding what works for us instead of just forcing it. Now I'll land there.
I think Zev and Brianna are up.
I don't know who was first, but I just jumped on. What's going on, y'all? What I say, what ruined modern dating, in your opinion? Um, I think if I was to simplify it, it'd be pride. A lot of us proclaim to be something that we're not. Like the brother was just saying before, you got to know who you are as a person, if you're dependent or independent, or whether or not that you're actually fit for the role. Sometimes we try to put ourselves in roles that we're not actually fit for and wonder why our relationships or our marriages fail. And in the conversations when communicating, like for example, a brother will say, "Well, I'm supposed to be a protector and provider. I'm just trying to look out for you." And some women, not all women, but some women will hear that, and the only thing they would hear is, "You're calling me weak. That's why you're saying that I need your protection." Instead of trying to see or hear from another person's perspective and have a conversation and exchange ideas, they only see in tunnel vision. That's for men and women as well. And so we have to learn to put our pride to the side, and our relationships will grow from there.
What would the ideal dating like structure look like?
It would be basically codependency.
Hmm.
I don't really believe in like boyfriend girlfriend. I feel like that's just a promise ring. Like it's just to make you happy, give you a title, a fake title. Uh, like a marriage, right? It would be like a team perspective, understanding that you're looking out for the marriage as a whole and everything that falls under it, which would be you, your husband, and the children, right? So understanding that the marriage comes first and not you. When you're interdependent, you can submit to that. You can understand that it's okay, whatever role my husband doesn't fulfill, I step into that shoe. Or whatever role that I can't fill, my husband will fulfill that role. And if I go down, my husband can step into my shoes and handle it, vice versa, right? But we don't really think like that. If a man gets fired from his job today, even though his wife was saving up money and he allowed her to go to school and build herself up and get a nice career and everything, she'll drop him because she doesn't expect to be the one holding down the bills while he gets back on his feet. In some cases, not all cases, there are good women out here that will hold their partner down. But a lot of times, our partners will jump ship when things first get hectic. So, if we have someone who understands the importance of teamwork and understand that there are times where they're going to have to hold it down, and they'll do it because you tested them in certain situations, then yeah, that's the ideal. That's the ideal partnership role as far as being in marriage.
The reason why I ask, right, because these principles in neurolinguistic programming, right, and I've used this in corporate where we have a deeper association to our pain points rather than our solutions. And it's easier to say the negative experiences that had positive outcomes rather than the positive ideals. And so, since the prompt is what ruined it, and we all have an opinion based on our traumas on what ruined it, right? That's very clear. We all have our understandings of what makes it bad. But also, if you're not focused on the solution end of it that is not inspired by said pain points that are essentially leaning towards the benefits by implementing certain things, then you don't really bridge the gap from issue to solution, right? And so that's what was just interesting to hear. Like we all understand that there's piss in the dating pool, great. Whether you're married or not, or if you're dating, you're celibate, you're not talking about it, like we all understand that, but essentially, without saying, hey, like for example, my answer would be,
that we don't really do home economics in school anymore, and it shouldn't be something that girls only should take, because understanding how to balance the finances of your home is important for everybody, right? How to do basic chores in your home is for everybody. A lot of the things that are masculine driven, like we were talking, he was like, I'm wiping the counter, I must be feminine. Like, it's crazy to think that those behaviors are just relegated to one gender, because what are you going to do when you're single, right? So since the prompt does ask you for the issue, I wanted to ask, like, what are the solutions for it, and if there are any that have the same emotional grounding within everyone's understanding of themselves. Like I can easily say, well, I don't like this thing because this thing happened to me, or this thing happened to my sister, or this thing happened to my cousin. But what are the things that I'm looking at? I'm like, you know what, this would have been a great experience to have growing up, so that the next great answers. It's just, if anyone wanted to reiterate it with that clarity, then I would be interested in hearing it.
I think another thing that we could focus on is like, you are who you hang around. So like, I just started to delete like tons and tons and tons of people off of my social media, in my circles, in my friend groups that just were not going how I'm going. If you're not improving your health, if you're not improving your wealth, and if you're not improving your around you, because you're gonna, these people are the people that's not doing to do the things that they're doing, and then the people that are doing that are gonna influence me to do better. So you gotta just change your circle and surroundings as well.
But what is an experience that you wish you had coming up that would have been beneficial to you, that isn't based in a negative experience that you've had?
I would say more quality time with my father. So you could have your father in your life, but men are not as emotionally in tune, or they're not taught to be in tune with their emotion. Well, that's the same thing. So I feel like when I would cry, or I would have these emotional like breakdowns as a kid, if my mom wasn't around, my dad wasn't able to really understand that depth. So I do think that men have to understand they still have to be sensitive, and there's still a level of vulnerability that is accepted. Women and men have to accept vulnerability in both sexes and not make a mockery of it. So I would just say vulnerability and emotional management, and that being prioritized in school. I had it in sports, but I didn't have it in school, and I didn't have it in my friend and family group. Like, people were not really talking about real issues. Like, when the issue happens, you just kind of pat it to the side, versus let's talk about it. Let's see how we can emotionally regulate. Let's see how we can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to be more problem solving than just, I got to go to work and come home and cook for these kids. Like, it needs to be more self-taught things in the home. Like, school is not the only thing that teaches your children. You as the parents need to teach your children things like that.
So, for like in New York, there used to be a lot of programs that would allow kids to learn different trades, right? Like, there are a lot of girls that I know lived in Harlem. They would dance, they would go to crafts, they would have a bunch of like extracurricular activities. I was in a dance company at the age of 14 and went all the way through 19, and I danced for 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, excuse me. And it taught me how to be dedicated to something. I think that essentially that helped me stay focused on what my aspirations were. Yes, I had a boyfriend in my first love or whatever in high school, but that wasn't centralized. Like, I had other things and other responsibilities to do. And because of that, it gave me a more centered sense of self. And I think that what would be a great thing to add to the structure of society that would lead to a better dating pool is essentially just having a variety of things for kids to do together that would teach people how to work together as a team, how to communicate better.
clear communications to get something done, how to resolve things and still get, you can have conflict but still move forward. Actually seeing the opposite gender as a full whole person, rather than just this other that kind of opposition. So, for example, because I took wood shop, I would have to do projects with guys. I see other guys. Oh yeah, this person knows what he's doing. They look at me and go, she knows what she's doing. So I think because we don't have that as much, we have this, it's kind of like a tribalism about the genders rather than having community. And so I would love to see more of that, but everything's so individualized and everyone's at home and, they have their friends, but their friends rarely are not of the opposite gender without interest in being, schmexual.
I agree with that. I know in Atlanta they had at Clark Atlanta they had like a men's leadership camp for boys. When I attended, it was basically showing you business. Like that was it. It was all about money. And so growing up, obviously, I'm going to equate manhood with money. So if there was a leadership program in every state that explained what the sister was saying earlier about emotional intelligence, understanding how to control your emotions, and understanding the emotions of people around you, and how to move around them, and how to and basically instill more discipline. There was a lot of things that I got away with as a child that my sisters couldn't get away with. Like there's a lot of bias. Like the last sister that I was speaking was just saying about how we kind of separate. It's not like a community thing where we treat everyone fairly and come together and share ideas. It's more like if I had 2-3 girlfriends, it was cool. But if my sister decided to have a boyfriend, she'd get chumped on. It was a lot of bias, and it was unfair in a lot of ways. But if I had been disciplined from early, I believe that I would have turned out a lot different. And especially with the programs I just mentioned earlier, I would have definitely treated our sisters better, and I would have been a better brother to everyone around me in my community.
I like to kind of piggyback off the emotional intelligence thing as well. I think one of the things is actually like finding out how to properly identify the emotion that you're feeling. Because a lot of times, we just get the happy and the mad. Like you can be driving down the street with your child in the car, somebody cut you off. I mean, most people are going to get mad and upset, but that's probably not even the true emotion that you're feeling. The true emotion you're feeling is probably fear. You were scared that you were going to wreck and your child was going to get hurt, but the way you're responding is more of an anger response, right? And sometimes that leads into relationships. You could be the type of person that you wanna be able to talk to your partner a couple times a day, but you don't know how to express that. It doesn't make you angry, it makes you scared that something may have happened. So when you approach it in the anger perspective, you're probably going to get a negative type of response from your partner. But if you're able to get your partner to realize that, hey, this is a fear that I have, now that allows your partners to be able to learn something about you, and to also for you to see if this person is going to be able to acknowledge this fear and at least try to do something to help that fear not be a constant thing, right? So properly being able to identify the emotion that you're feeling is extremely important when it comes to emotional intelligence.
I agree with that. I also think like that even like stems from like your childhood, because I grew up in like a Jamaican household, so like I know like communication wasn't really a thing. It was more so like this is how it goes and that's it. There's not really like a conversation of like, hey, this made me feel that way, mom, or
Same.
when you were doing that, like I felt this way. Like it was kind of just dismissed. You moved on. She made your food and you moved on. So like I know like even with like my boyfriend, he tells me, he's like, I'm glad that at least you still grew up in a 2-parent household, whatever. But I'm like, I still had those issues with communication because my parents, I never really like had that aspect in my childhood to really communicate my feelings. So I guess that plays out in how we communicate with each other, you know. So it's like it all plays a role, and it's just something that we have to miss when you start dating, which is when you start experimenting and doing these things and like dating and talking to people. So now you're like, oh, is this how I'm supposed to communicate? Is this my communication style? Is this what I like? Like, you know, it's things that you're just learning, and then when you're learning it, it's obviously everything's not perfect.
Oh, we got 2 new people in here. You guys want to go ahead and answer the prompt? Yeah, Aura King and Grasshopper. And then Brianna, did you answer the question directly?
I think a lot of things, like I was just saying earlier, like lack of communication, not knowing how to communicate with one another, lack of accountability. You know, we're not taking accountability for the things that we do to one another. Internet, social media, certain expectations, and certain unrealistic expectations. Yeah, and I think just not healing, not learning from the things that messed us up, and then we're taking it and bringing it into new relationships, knowing that like we're not healed fully, or that things trigger us, and not recognizing those things.
Yeah, no, I see. For me, it probably was social media, man. I feel like social media is the reason that this. I feel like social media, the reason that is messed up right now, because everybody looking at the rappers and the models, and they want to be just like that, but in reality, we not where they at.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, me personally, I'm not even attracted.
She left, but she had
to-
asked a question before. What was her name? Kelly. I think her name was Kelly. I can't remember. She had asked a question, basically what we wanted to bring from childhood that we thought was like helpful. And the one thing that made me think of when everybody was talking about like, home ec being one thing, but I don't know. Do people remember the guy on like TikTok who was teaching like life skills to boys, like teaching them how to like work on cars and like change tires and do all that kind of stuff? Like, I feel like more education like that would be beneficial. Like, not even just to little boys, but more hands-on, like, teaching both sexes how to do these basic things. Like, girls don't even know how to jump a car. Most women don't even know how to jump a car. And it's very simple, and it's something that could be easily taught.
I mean, a lot of this is also able to be found on YouTube and Google. So, like, at this point, it's really just a lack of wanting to know. And that's on both sides. You feel me? Because we live in an instantly gratifying time where I can order anything that I want to my door. So it's like,
Her question was
any
about
harder
children,
than
though.
that, I'm not interested in doing it.
Her question was about children, though, like things we should be taught children, like in school. So yeah, I agree. At this age, a grown man or woman can look up anything on the internet, but I'm talking about teaching more basic life skills to younger children just in general. Because then we wouldn't have so much pressure too on these roles of, a man needs to do this or a man needs to do that, like the same as the changing tire reference. Like that's something that can be easily taught to people young, and then it wouldn't be like it just used to be a life skill that wasn't hard to find. Everybody just knew how to do it. We need to get back to more basic life skills that people know how to do and understand, teach that to our children so that people can grow up and be more intelligent.
They have some schools that still do that, like the schools that's further out from the city, the country, and shit. They be teaching people how to do all of that. They teach you how to take care of animals. They teach you how to grow crops. They teach you home ec. They got a welding. They got shop classes that does this. Was saying before, doing woodwork. They got them in other schools outside of the cities. You have to go out to go get those schools.
Right. I was just answering her question from before. I don't know if you were here when she asked the question. I don't know if the host was actually paying attention when she had asked the question, because it was a really long and in-depth question, and a few people had answered it, so I was just answering that. I mean, if you don't really know her original question, then nothing I say is gonna really make sense. So
I mean, no, I heard part of what she was saying, and no, I didn't hear her say what to teach children. I heard her asking what would ideal dating look like.
it was after that. She had people answer that, and then she wanted some more like clarity on that, and she went around. And that's the thing I took from it, was particularly to answer, was what we should be teaching children, things that we had in older generations that we should be passing down into the younger generations, that should be carried on. That was kind of her question that I was responding to. But we can change from that. I was just responding to that. I'm open to change topic.
No, I wasn't trying to put you down or nothing like that. I was just saying they have some of those programs. If you were interested in your own children, you would just have to move outside of the city. That's what I was saying.
Right, gotcha. I got it.
Did everybody in here answer the prompt that's posted though?
I didn't.
Go ahead.
I think
did. I answered.
the lack of accountability is what majorly ruined relationships and dating. And I also believe the need for instant gratification also ruined it. For me, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of like that person who thought that dating somebody was about getting to know a person and build with the person. The person's not supposed to come ready made. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody wants everything instantly. You know, he's got to automatically have this. He's got to automatically have that. And it's like you have unrealistic expectations for
Re-answer if we just need to get the conversation going again. But I mean, I did answer earlier the prompt. I don't know.
Can you not hear her?
Oh no, I can't hear somebody else talking. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, I just feel like the instant gratification thing I think is major, especially when you start talking, when you look at like podcast culture and people talking about the high value man versus the high value woman and things like that. Y'all didn't put in none of the work to be getting none of these high value people in the first place. So why you think you just deserve this off the top? Like, it's weird to me, the entitlement that people have as far as matching with other people. I personally believe that dating and marriage has always been about the journey. You meet somebody, you get to know each other, you figure out if you have the same likes and interests. If you do or you don't, you know what I'm saying? You keep dating. Eventually, maybe you marry, maybe you don't, because marriage isn't for everybody. So that's just my thoughts on it.